through 7618.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sacktown Sports.
It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sacktown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. On a Tuesday, Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. We have Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass, hanging out with us until 2 p.m., taking you into the drive, guys, as we talk Kings who handle the Wizards, a.k.a. Richmond from Coach Carter, 143 to 131. Do the Kings have their own big three, or do they have to go out and get one more to make one? Eagles are fraudulent. Surprise, surprise. Jalen Hurts, you are going to get that work. And the Niners are in the driver's seat. There are already conversations about some of the knick-knack injuries that the Niners have. Will that Christmas Day game not be as important as we previously thought before the game last night? And Drew Lock, Mr. Young Jeezy himself, coming through with another sound bite. We can't play it because there's just too much cursing, but very similar to our own Jake Browning. Drew Lock had some things to say, and I think it was another rap lyric. So shout out to Drew Lock for giving the Niners an early Christmas gift.
Right.
And you got to hear, Niners fans, we broke the Eagles. You didn't break the Eagles.
No, you didn't.
You didn't break the Eagles. What broke the Eagles was going to the Super Bowl, losing coordinators, losing pieces, and losing that game. That's what broke the Eagles. We did this last week when we looked at how many teams actually run back-to-back. And if your team does not have Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady on that team,
right,
nobody is going back-to-back. That's just not how it happens. Chris Watkins, how are you? You were in the building last night to watch the game. What were your thoughts? And we were kind of watching the Seahawks game as that was going on too. How are you doing in this rainy weather? You came in with an umbrella.
Dude, the weather sucks.
And I'm out on umbrellas. Can I tell you
really?
that?
Why? Why?
They're useless.
What?
Umbrellas are useless. Unless you're going to have some huge
that might
umbrella.
Be worse than the Rashard Mendenhall take right
now.
We'll
really get into Dave.
That's not
Carmichael Dave didn't want to touch on it, but we can touch on it for sure.
I feel like umbrellas have a use. Like, they're not useless. Okay, so they have a pretty clearly defined use.
Okay, but maybe it's being in the Bay where a lot of times when it rains, it's windy. And, the amount of people I see walking around with inverted umbrellas, I'm thinking, I got a really big coat that I got when I moved out to Philly. I still have it. It's a very good coat. And when it's coming down like that, I just put on the coat.
Yeah.
I got the hoodie on, and I just rock and roll. These umbrellas, oh my gosh, they're getting blown away. What's that old movie? They're getting blown away.
It feels really dumb when that starts to happen. That's definitely when it's like, I still won't say they're useless, but
they're overrated.
Something about, I would say they're underutilized. I feel like enough people, especially as someone who yesterday was using an umbrella, I was walking around like, I'm chilling, y'all, and I see people huddled together, everybody, underneath the overhangs and stuff, and I'm like, there's a very easy solution, simple solution to this, and it's just pop up an umbrella. It's really and also it's just like the rain. Frankly, it really gets me mad. Like, the rain upsets me. It doesn't make me sad. Like, I know people up in Seattle and Portland are they're depressed because it rains 200 days a year.
Yeah.
It would just literally make me upset. Like, it would give me road rage just all over the place. I would just be upset at me. I totally, absolutely. If you think it's bad during the summer, oh my gosh, this is prime wet blanket.
Well,
season.
And as we talk about the Eagles and the Eagles and the Niners, and really this mini rivalry that it's become, I would put this around the category, to be honest. I know they played at a high level. I'd put it around the category as Grizzlies Warriors, when that was a thing, because they played in the playoffs. Not much history. Could go away.
It's definitely intense.
It's not
more
Cowboys. It's not Seahawks. Anything like that. And I think a kind of underlying part of this is that when you have Eagles fans, really the week that they played the Niners, are saying, you think you're so good, you think you're so this, you're so that. And I think that a lot of people on the East Coast, and I can say this as someone who spent plenty of time on the East Coast, there is a little bit of, hey, we got to struggle more because our weather really stinks and Californians have it so easy. So for us to complain about rain is a bit funny,
right?
But I do think that, and look, I still do it, but I do think that there is a little bit of Californians are spoiled because they don't have to deal with.
I'm not into comparing. I wouldn't call it trauma, but I'm not into comparing. What people view as like, hey, man, it's still bad. Like, it's all relative. It's all
It's all relative. I'll say this, even just coming from the Bay. I know, we're a little bit up higher here. It does feel like there's more real weather in Sacramento than the Bay Area. There's way more fall leaves.
Yes, for sure.
Everything like that. So,
because I guess the Bay does kind of just stay.
It's just the same.
Yeah, it just kind of stays in that low 60s, maybe high 50s, and windy, and of course foggy as well. And I guess that is definitely a perk of that I've noticed about Sacramento. It doesn't really feel like a perk sometimes, especially during summer, but you definitely experience all four seasons, even if it's not for necessarily the length of time that it is.
I definitely feel it. I definitely feel this is as real seasony as I need to go. Yeah, I don't need to go anywhere else past that.
I'm good on a white Christmas.
Well, I do want to know if there are people out there, there are people that, I'm so done with the summer. I just want the fall to come. And even Dave said he prefers cold weather to hot. And are there people out there that just, oh man, it's raining today? I love the rain.
I do have a friend or two that is like really excited when it rains, but I don't believe that it's like, I think I like it when it rains because it's special. Like it only rains, 10 times a year and whatever it is. And so it feels special. But then when it rains for 6 straight days, all of a sudden,
right.
I don't think anybody's a fan of the rain.
Exactly.
I think it's the same with the sun too. I mean, even come summertime, you'll experience a Sacramento summer and you'll be like, hey man, this ain't so bad. 100 degrees. This is awesome. And then it's going to be 115 or whatever, 112 for 5 straight days. And you're going to be like, I'm ready for some rain.
Yeah, I'm ready for it to cool off a little bit. Well, the Kings rained on the Wizards parade last night. The Wizards have quite the stretch. I believe the Jordan Poole homecoming is Friday.
Right.
With
the ring. Oh, I guess he already got his
Warriors. And Jordan Poole was cooking a little bit last night. We'll get into the Wizards because we saw how they lose games because Jordan Poole can score upper 20s. He had 28, I think. Kyle Kuzma was right there with him, and they were never in the game. And I would imagine that's how a lot of this season has gone. So we'll get into that game as well. And like we said, the Niners in a completely different position. As we said with Keegan Murray, yesterday's price is not today's price if you're the Niners because they are in sole possession of first place. They are in the driver's seat. The Cowboys, they still have a really rough ending. They still have the Dolphins, and they're gonna struggle. I don't see the Cowboys. They have to worry about winning the NFC East with the Eagles. So who knows what's going to happen there? But
Niners just have to win 2 of 3. I think
2 of 3, regardless.
To lock down number 1.
Regardless. So I hope it doesn't take away from the Christmas game because I was really excited about that.
Right.
And this is around that time where you have to start making smart decisions. Right. I don't think they're going to completely sell the game, but if you are dinged up, let's not. I haven't checked.
Is it at Levi's or is it in Baltimore? It's at Levi's.
It's at Levi's where. If they take care of business, all of the playoffs, they would be a party in Santa Clara.
And the Ravens need this win because then they would not fall any further than the 2 seed, I believe.
There you go.
I guess so, huh? Because they're the only AFC team with 11 wins right now.
Yeah, and they play the Dolphins in week 17. So even if they lose, they wouldn't fall below the Dolphins, but Kansas City has 5 losses.
So here's my thing, and I don't want to maybe go too far with this. Because I love thinking that not tinfoil, but I want to be more complex than what everybody would assume. So if you're Kyle Shanahan and this Ravens game, 21-7, okay, your next games are against not great opponents, right? If you're the Niners, it's 21-7. Let's say the Ravens just start out on a heater. After this, the Niners have the Commanders and the Rams, who have played better. Yeah. Okay,
and that might be a big game for the Rams.
That could be. That probably will be.
Yeah.
But if it's 21-7, you're playing an opponent who, dare I say, you might see again.
Sure.
Do you open up the playbook, or do you keep it conservative and, hey, we'll just lick our wounds if we take this L and we feel good about the rest of our season? Because we don't even know what the Eagles are going to do. You got Jalen Hurts calling out the team in post-game press conferences. So I think if I'm Kyle Shanahan, this thing you get down 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, you start thinking, hey, I'll try to come back, but I'm not going to show Harbaugh and this Ravens organization and the football world everything so that they can have more film in case we see them in Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an interesting point. You definitely don't want to show off your whole bag, especially like you're saying. I mean, if you're possibly going to face that team in the Super Bowl, I mean, you definitely don't want to show them all the tricks that you have, especially, against that specific team. But at the same time, locking out, it really depends on how much they value that 1 seed, which I would imagine is pretty significant. I mean, you get the first round bye and you get home field advantage. It feels like you got to give that game as good of a go as possible, because even though it does feel like the Commanders and the Rams are really easy opponents, it's a lot easier to just split those things. It's a lot easier to just get that one out of the way. So that way, look, like we said, that Rams game could be the Rams going full tilt.
Double if you take care of the Ravens and then you go on and beat the Commanders, you get double rest.
Exactly.
Because then you could say Rams, or you do treat it like a preseason Rams, not to do the Rams any favors, but hey, Rams, we'll get Brock in there for 1 quarter or whatever, and then have the Sam Darnold experience.
You never know when Sam Darnold might need to step in. I'm just saying, like, for real, you
never know. But
by the way, you want to get him some reps in there.
By the way, we're not people saying, "Oh, look how bad Sam Darnold." We're not doing that from two plays. I saw that. I thought, guys, it's Brock Purdy's world. You don't come on now. Yeah, it was too. Remember when Brock Purdy tried to do a handoff to the opposite side? I mean, what are we talking about? And I get it, he was a rookie, but come on now. Yeah. So real quick before we get to the break, the rest of the Eagles schedule: Giants, Cardinals, who don't sleep. It's in Philly, but you never know. Kyler Murray is kind of a, wreck your day type of guy. Once there's nothing on, he's kind of like Jordan Poole to me.
Jonathan Gannon revenge game.
So really, there you go. That too.
Once we can't do anything, now I'm going to ball out and scurry all around the field. So you never know. And then they have the Giants in New York.
So 2 games against the Giants.
That's 67% Tommy DeVito.
Well, Tommy, we'll talk. Did we confirm whether that report is?
I don't think we ever confirmed it.
Because somebody said, I wish that it was true. Did you see that, Kyle?
The one with the reporter?
The one that
his team's social media.
Social media.
That's not real.
It's not real.
I wanted it to be real.
All right, we got to get to a break. When we get back, the Kings take care of business. Have your expectations changed? We're talking the big 3. That's right, I said it. There's a big 3 in Sacramento. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
It's the best team in the AFC versus the best team in the NFC on Christmas in San Francisco.
Murray back. Murray time throws. Intercepted. Charvarius Ward running back the other way. He's gone.
The 11-3 Baltimore Ravens bring their talent out west to face the 11-3 San Francisco 49ers. Game time at 5:15 Christmas night on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured,
remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking up to 2 p.m. We will be joined by Chris Biederman at 11 of the Candlestick Chronicles and the Sacramento Bee to talk Kings and Niners as the Kings take down the lowly Washington Wizards, who are now 4-22.
Yikes.
143-131. It was a little scary. It was basically your classic, we're better than you team, right? It's just going to take us a while. The Wizards hung around.
Yeah.
Kyle Kuzma was making some shots, but ultimately the Kings are just a better team. De'Aaron Fox played. I did not think he would play. I thought you could have used it as another rest day, but I think De'Aaron Fox wanted to play. I think there are a lot of reasons De'Aaron Fox wanted to play.
Yeah.
And he played. And he dropped
to play 65 games to win MVP.
There you go. You said it, not me. And if you're ready to go, why not? Maybe the thought process was it is the Wizards, so it shouldn't be that hard fought of a game. And if it, you know what I mean? You can look at things a couple different ways.
I'm curious. I do you think that that's like a real thing? I feel like that's one of those things.
I think they don't talk about it. I think it's like Fight Club.
Yeah.
They know about it, but they don't talk about it.
Right. Where it's like, you are playing the Cardinals this week.
Exactly.
You're playing the Wizards,
But
maybe
the opposite,
yeah.
but what if it was the Celtics last night? Then it's you're for sure playing. So is there, if it was a middle team that could be a little squirrely?
Yeah. And if you are a bad team like the Wizards and you are playing the Celtics, does it work in reverse as well? Where it's like, we're playing the Celtics, like we're probably not going to win even if Kyle Kuzma does play. So why not just
that
rest
I
him
agree
as well,
with. That I agree with. I'm trying to think who is a team that would make this difficult.
So, for example, last night the Pistons, who have lost 23 games in a row, they played the Hawks. Do you think they're looking at the Hawks and they're like, "This is the one we can get"?
Yeah, like that's a possibility,
sure.
right?
For
and
sure.
Do you think the Hawks are going in thinking, we got this? It's like
this
have to.
But the Hawks are like 11-16.
I think the Hawks are a great team for this exercise.
Right.
If the Kings were playing the Hawks, that might be that middle team to where you're thinking, De'Aaron, just chill, right? Because maybe you're not going to cook this, but they don't play any defense. So I don't know. I think either way, I think there is no right answer. I think all season you're going to find reasons to play. And this is not, and before they even implemented this, we're on, we have Kings media on record, yourself included, that have said that Kings, everybody talks about the Kings having quote unquote good injury luck when they played through injury. As a lot of other teams did not.
We're not getting that luck this year either.
No, we're not. But De'Aaron, that's not to say, De'Aaron had that finger in the playoffs and he was still cooking. So I think it's a thing for this season, but I think De'Aaron was already wired this way. And we saw that
for sure
throughout last season, not just De'Aaron because he's the head of the snake, but with the whole team. And how they kind of powered through injuries and things like that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Sabonis had his hand, Keegan had his hand. And then even this year, like you could say De'Aaron maybe came back faster from that ankle injury than what I think people thought he was. And he's done that before in the past as well. And I think that's definitely been a big theme this year. I mean, even coming into the season, every Kings preview you read this offseason was, the Kings actually got very lucky when it came to the injury front. So that's probably not going to happen again. And that's going to lead to them pretty much regressing back to normal. And we've seen that the Kings haven't gotten that luck, and they're quite literally better than they've been in the past 19 years. So.
And it's not a strength of schedule thing. They've been on the road.
Tough schedule.
They barely played.
They played 3 East teams or whatever.
Right. The Cavs, when the Cavs were not a complete dumpster fire yet. The Nets, who, Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas will get you. And then the Wizards. So obviously an easier slate when you're talking about these East Coast teams. And now it's going to even out because now you're going to get the Celtics tomorrow night. We have Johnny P. DeRosa on the Sack Chat. Shout out to the Sack Chat, by the way, always holding it down for us, who says the Pelicans. Maybe the Pelicans are a team where they think, De'Aaron, we can't beat them anyway. Just chill. Just chill. That's a good call.
Yeah.
That's a good call. So let's go Sabonis here.
Yeah.
And what he's done. We're going to get more in depth with Sabonis later in the show. But let's go Sabonis and what you saw from him. Not a lot. This is a game where he should eat. Not a lot of you know, not a lot of
meat down there for Washington.
Not at all. But this is where you're supposed to take care of business, right? So Sabonis kind of doing his thing. Did you like what you saw from him?
Of course, yeah. I mean, like you said, this is the exact kind of matchup where you would want him to dominate. Like when they have Daniel Gafford, who kind of is I'm a huge fan of Daniel Gafford. I think he's he's a really good rim protector and just, I frankly think he'd be a really good backup center here in Sacramento, but he doesn't really have the physicality to deal with Domantas Sabonis, and you saw him just throwing people around all day. Like he really used his strength to his advantage, and when you got Mike Muscala as their backup center, who's a stretch four that I frankly didn't even know was still in the NBA at this point, that's barbecue chicken for Domas, and he just took it and ran with it all night. Like he was a physical freak all night long, and that's exactly what you want to see is him recognizing that. And how many times earlier this season were we talking about Sabonis? Remember, he had that 4-attempt game against the Houston Rockets. People have been asking for him to be more physical, be more aggressive, and I think on a night like last night, you see that he understands what he is and the ability he has. It's just, I think sometimes he has to feel confident in the matchup. And clearly, I mean, last night, everybody, De'Aaron, Domas, everybody felt comfortable going to the rim because, frankly, Washington, like you said, is just a terrible defense.
Not a lot of resistance.
126 points per game they average to opponents. And also that was the 6th time this season that the Wizards have allowed over 140 points.
After last night's game, they fell from 29th in defensive rating to 30th in defensive rating.
Who was 30th before?
Yeah.
Do you have any guesses?
Gotta be the Pacers.
I would say the Pacers.
The Pacers were 28, and they gave up 151, but they're still not worse than the Wizards. It was the Charlotte Hornets.
Man.
Hey,
can't wait to play them.
Right. Got to make sure you get the highlights right with LaMelo. So Keegan Murray, 25 over the past 5 games, 25.6 points. This is from our guy Frankie Cardicelli, who will be tomorrow for the Kings Roundtable. Get your questions in for that one tomorrow. 5.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists, 1.4 steals, shooting 58%, 60% from 3-point range, 87% from the free throw line. I feel like I've never seen him actually miss a free throw. So that's a little surprising to me. And he's playing 32, almost 33 minutes a game to a 4-1 record, playing the best basketball of his young career. Big 3 in Sacramento. Is that what you'd call it?
I think it's still a work in progress. Last night was the first time it really felt like a big 3 performance, though, where, I mean, I shouldn't even say that because Keegan kind of did catch on late, but you look at those numbers at the end of the game, and actually, frankly, Keegan's numbers at the end of that game were needed because of how, like you said up top, like I wouldn't say the Wizards made it close, but the Kings kind of struggled to close that one out yesterday with Jordan Poole hitting all those threes in the 4th. It felt like that's kind of the formula or version of the formula that the Kings want to see is those 3 guys really, leading the way. And, it's just got to happen more consistently. I guess you could say this is now 2 performances in a row, even though De'Aaron didn't play the other day, that those, or at least 2 of those 3 guys are responsible for the Kings winning. And it's just about stacking those up. And then, like we said yesterday, pretty much now that you have, really good teams in the NBA coming up, you got the Celtics, you got the Suns, you got the T-Wolves. If those 3 can start to put together performances against teams of that caliber and they can get results on top of that, well, that's when it's like, okay, maybe the Kings truly do have a big 3 that is worth waiting for, because I think that's been the biggest thing of this season is of course trade talks are always the big talk in the first 20 games, but with the Zach LaVines, the OGs, the every name you want to throw out there, and the Kings being attached to all of them, maybe Keegan starting to kind of get this thing going and feeling more and more comfortable with this 2-way role. Maybe it's a sign that, hey, maybe we don't need to actually go out there and make that splash move right here, right now. Let's see how far this kid can maybe take us right here, and then we can reevaluate later, or just adjust on the edges instead of, again, just trying to throw somebody right into the middle of this thing.
Later in the show, we'll predict what we think the Kings will do against this 3-game gauntlet. But you're completely right. If they continue this, if they go 2-1 and they're all no stinkers.
Right.
There's a back-to-back in there. Okay. When you go Suns, T-Wolves.
Oh, well, we know that's just a guaranteed loss, right?
I will not allow it.
Why should we even play that game?
I will not allow it. The Kings will show up for the first time in the second half of a back-to-back. But if they go 2-1 with all competitive games, or obviously 3-0 or something like that, and the three of them continue on this path, I think that you can definitely start to see a big three. And as we talked about with that Kawhi type leap, with not to be Kawhi, but the Kawhi type leap between the first and second year with Keegan, I think that changes everything if you're Monty McNair. I think you see that and you start thinking, all right, I'm not going to give up Keegan and ruin what's going on right here, right now for somebody who we're going to have to pay more very soon. We have to confirm. We don't know that it's even going to work.
Right.
So I think, as we discussed Sam Amick's piece yesterday, the Zach LaVine, if that's something anything you can figure out and keep these three together, cool. It's not my money, Vivek. You want to cash out? Cash out. It ain't tricking if you got it. But moving off of these three would be a little bit crazy right now.
Yeah, I think especially right now. Like Keegan's just playing so well. It feels like, his confidence is starting to get up. And then the fact that he has that kind of performance with De'Aaron playing as well, like it just doesn't feel like the right time to do it. And again, this Kings team has been incredibly successful. Like they're 16-9, best start since 04-05. Why would you possibly risk messing it all up? Because I was saying this last night, like basketball teams sometimes are like a very delicate ecosystem where, things have to be working exactly how they're supposed to in order for everything to kind of keep going. And one little thing taken out of that ecosystem could just completely blow it up. And you might not think that, moving off of Kevin Huerter is really going to hurt and that's just a random example. It could be Harrison Barnes, whoever. You might think that that's not going to affect the team, but you just don't think about the butterfly effect of, okay, well, what does that do for him? And how does that change his role? And so it's just a lot easier if you are thinking about building out this team and you're thinking about having success this season, it's a lot easier to build around the edges and kind of keep the main core doing what they do instead of trying to throw in, again, a Zach LaVine, an OG Anunoby, a Pascal Siakam, and then asking them, hey, can you figure out your role in real time and excel in it and essentially hit the ground running? Because we traded for you and your contract's up at the end of this year. And we also traded yet another young star who, we need to be better before he gets good.
And we can break it down when we get back, how many times the rental has worked out to win a championship. I would say it's very rare. It's very rare. This is who Keegan Murray has to check rock against these next three games. Oof. Jason Tatum and or Jaylen Brown, right? So mostly scary. Jason Tatum. Yeah. KD and or Devin Booker, okay? And then you got Anthony Edwards. So we're going to see what Keegan and this Kings team is really made of. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, that fifth option looking pretty good these days. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The 49ers have secured their playoff berth, and now they chase the NFC's top seed.
Purdy out of the shotgun, looks left, throws end zone. Caught! George Kittle in the back of the end zone. Touchdown! San Francisco!
Check out all the 49ers games with Greg Papa and Tim Ryan
on your home for the playoff-bound 49ers. Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. That's 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game and high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
It's 10:31, which means it's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. Reminder, all guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sacktown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. We will be joined by Chris Biederman at 11 o'clock of the Candlestick Chronicles in the Sacramento Bee as we talk all things Kings, getting into some Niners as well. And the Eagles. We got to come down the Eagles road. Kyle Draper going to be in the building today. We will get confirmation because I'm sure it's already raining. I don't know. Kyle's kind of having a rough go already.
I know, and he's been sick too. This is just
sick.
Not,
can Kyle catch a break? Let the guy catch a break. By the way, 916-339-1140. If you want to be a part of the conversation, all guests and callers, join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And you heard me with the caw before the break.
I had to explain that to you. You're actually not the first person I've had to explain the Harrison Barnes call to.
Well, yes. Well, after he made a shot.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I really heard it before.
Yeah. My girlfriend had asked me, like, what is that? Like, what do they do? And it's like, it's a very niche specific story. She thought it was like a barn, like they were making like barn sound, like, like a farmer in a barn in Harrison Barnes. And, I was like, oh, okay. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
But no, it is specifically from a Hassan Whiteside Snapchat in which he was like, there's like just a crow eating bread or something on the ground. He's like, oh my God, look, it's Harrison Barnes, the Black Falcon. Call. And that's where they got that call from.
Cut.
It's like an insanely deep cut.
Yeah.
And at this point, Hassan Whiteside's been off the team for like 3 years now. And so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, how long are we going to keep this guy? I like it, but it's just like, if I have to explain this to you and explain the layers behind it, it's like, And
if you haven't been able to get out to Golden One this season yet, what we're discussing is basically there are different.
It's like emotes almost.
Right. There are different sounds that get played when a player either scores a 3 or there's a really good bucket. Because it's not always a dunk.
No,
it's either a dunk or it's an and one.
A highlight play.
A highlight type score. So that was what they do for Harrison Barnes. They do, off the top of my head, the Fox,
Malik.
the Malik, they do a priest.
A chant, if you will.
A priest.
Which Alan's very fond of. It's probably Alan's favorite thing.
We've been
about
trying
every
to get
game.
the sound, and I crack up, and I just can't get over it. Then
Also,
you have,
opposing media loves it.
Oh, they love because they don't see it coming.
Yeah, they're like, what was that?
And then you have for De'Aaron Fox, it's a song, right?
Yeah, I think it's I believe it's Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
I think it's like Foxy Woman or something.
Right. So then you have that one, and then Domantas Sabonis.
I feel like is that a Dave-led thing?
Yes,
I believe so.
Yes and no. Dave claims to have planted the seed with Scott Moak, so I'm not 100% sure how much credit he deserves for it, but he deserves some.
He's really trying to make it a thing. Like, it's very Mean Girls, like trying to make fetch into a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Dave is really trying to push it.
He is. And last night,
like,
and every time all four of us, we look at each other to say, hey, should we give Dave this one between me, you, Brendan, and Frankie, the Sacktown Sports Kings insiders? And we all look at each other and we're like, It sounds more like,
Yeah.
And it's a good point. Just put it on the screen if you really want this to be a thing. If I'm Dave and I run Sacramento as Dave does, I would say, hey, guys, put it on the screen, Domantas Sabonis, and that's it.
Yeah, you just need the bouncing ball.
You just need the bouncing ball.
Yep.
And Dave, if he really wanted to make it happen, I think he wants to go grassroots.
Yeah.
And he wants to just believe that it's just word of mouth, like the secret menu at In-N-Out. I didn't have to tell anybody. It just
like it's
kind
the
of
late 1900s, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. By there was a bird who actually came and flew into the arena.
But do people hear that Seven Nation Army and they're like, don't know what to do when that happens?
I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah, there's like I would say it's maybe like 40% of the crowd, maybe 30 is like doing it, and then there's like the rest of the people who are making sounds.
I don't think it's even 40.
Plus, like you said, the cadences are off.
I don't think it's 40. I'm gonna be honest.
It's like,
I think it's touched 40.
Yeah, I would say it's
peak,
touched. Yeah, it's peaked.
But
at
last
40.
night we were scraping about 25.
It's like close enough to be like I hear it, but not close enough to be like they're doing.
Is someone saying something besides That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
and you might hear us for Sabonis at the end, and then it's over.
Yeah.
Come on, Dave. We'll talk to Dave.
Maybe I'm tricking myself and I know the story behind it, but when I work every game here at the studio, and so when I hear it, I hear Domantas Sabonis, but I think my mind just knows that's what it's supposed to be, so I'm tricking myself.
I'm gonna call Dave out tomorrow in the crossover and say, look, unless you're really gonna push this thing, I don't want to hear it anymore.
Right, because it is.
I don't.
It's on the borderline of like, again, like we're really trying to force it, and it's like I just don't know if it's happening.
But he's trying to force it in a weird way. Just Dave, make the calls.
You know what, Dave? If you want it to work, you got to show up to the game.
That's right.
You got to lead the chain yourself.
Stand up. Go in the middle during a timeout. Say, hey guys, this is what we're doing.
Like Greg Popovich, grab the microphone and say,
guys, this is what we're doing.
We do this here.
This is who we are.
Yeah, this is who we are.
This is respectful. This is respectful. And Harrison Barnes, it's time to be respectful to Harrison Barnes as he's taken a lot of flack, not just on this show, from all Sacramento Kings fans. As a fifth option, Harrison Barnes is starting to turn it up a little bit, okay? Did not get a rebound, did not get an assist, but he almost had
he was there for one reason.
To score buckets, and he had 19 points. Harrison Barnes, again, as a fifth option, a guy who Mike Brown has said, we do not run plays for Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes isn't in this. He's in the actions, but he's not the featured piece.
Right.
I think, and again, yesterday wasn't a day where, we need you to lock down somebody, in Kyle Kuzma still. He kind of did his work, and same with Jordan Poole.
Sure,
but when you look at Harrison Barnes and the expectations, I'm starting to be one of the leaders of the charge to leave Harrison Barnes alone. I never thought I'd be here, especially coming from the
Spears fan.
Especially coming from the Bay Area. I did not think I would be this guy, but it's time to leave Harrison Barnes alone. He's playing well.
Yeah, no, he's playing great, and I hate to do a 2-game split, but seriously, like in these past 2 games, he's been excellent. 17 points a game, 63% from the field, 55 from 3, and he's got 11 shots off. To me, that's the best part about it. Is in both games he's taken 11 field goal attempts, and that's the thing that was really just frustrating about HB. And I know Mike Brown came to his defense and said, I don't call plays for this man, but it just felt like there were still pockets of time in which it was like, Harrison, there was a moment for you to take a shot there, or at least look for yours. And it's felt different, right? Like,
did somebody talk to him, you think?
I don't
Coach
know,
Mike Brown,
but
if he does this again,
if he does it again, like, I think you can just, as long as you frame it the right way, say, Harrison now got 3 games of over 10 shot attempts. It's the first time all season he's had a streak like that. What's gotten into him? Is he looking more aggressive? Did someone talk to him? I think there's definitely a way of getting that kind of information out, because it's just look different. Forget the stats. Forget actually seeing that he took more shots than he has for the majority of this season. It just yesterday especially looked like he was way more aggressive. He was taking that 3-point shot the second it hit his hands, which is something we saw a bit from him last year. And he was also attacking the rim too. It's felt like he's had that flip of mindset. And I always thought it was that simple, that he just kind of needed to be a little bit more selfish in moments like that. And it does feel like it's really as cut and dry as that. Again, he was there for just buckets yesterday. No assists, no rebounds, just really was, I think, focused on trying to make sure that he was like he impacted that game yesterday, and he sure did.
He really did. So shout out Harrison Barnes. Caw-caw! By the way, before we get to a break, from the 916 on the text line, 916-339-1140. From the 916, I was trying to tell people around me, but it's too loud for them to get it. I thought maybe I should bring up a roll-up sign to follow.
Yeah.
But it's hard enough to get my 70-year-old body
shout
there.
out you.
LOL. Chris the Mom. Shout out Chris the Mom for getting there. You keep trying,
Yeah.
Chris the Mom.
Doing
We'll
the
get
Lord's
there.
work. Do
We'll
it.
get there. All right.
You're
gotta
doing
get
it because Dave won't.
Because Dave won't.
Come on.
Just doing the hard work. All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we have some crazy Kings stats to go over. We will also discuss a great night for the San Francisco 49ers. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Did you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals to help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Safe Mart, and Smart & Final, or a local grocery store near you.
O'Reilly. Cleaning your fuel system can help your engine run better and improve gas mileage. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts and pick up a bottle of Chevron Techron Fuel System Cleaner. On sale now. Buy one, get one free. Plus, get 2 times O Rewards points. Get more fuel-saving tips from the professional parts people at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Just be natural. Try to roll around in it gracefully and not like a puppy.
Maria's photography studio is zooming into a flurry of projects.
Where did I put that memory card?
She needs an assistant to keep business in focus.
Hang on while I change the external flash. Oh,
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I'm filled with gratitude for the Golf to Go show guests who have trusted us with their time, their thoughts, and their dreams. People like NBC's Peter Jacobson, Angie Dixon from First Tee Greater Sacramento, former 49er great Steve Young, Sir Nick Faldo, the heralded team at Hagen Oaks like Ken Morton Jr., Tom Morton, PGA Golf to Go's resident on-air playing coach, Mike Woods, PGA Director of Golf, and all the PGA professionals and guests who have entertained us over this year's 52 shows. Thanks also to you, our loyal listeners who are there every week with compliments and suggestions when we might hit it out of bounds. Thanks also to the game that brings us all together, to the millions of men, women, boys, and girls who play the game. Thanks to the able-bodied, and thanks also to the programs that nurture those in need of a lift, like the California Eagles, PGA Hope, and many more. Thank you to Scott Marsh. We are fortunate to have lived life and had a chance to play the game. If that's your Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
Ho, ho, ho! Greetings, plant-loving families. Celebrate over a century of green thumb magic with EB Stone.
Even a Grinch like me can't resist the magic of EB Stone.
Dive into planting bliss with Edna's best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Your little plants will flourish into jolly companions for the holidays.
They might even warm this Grinch's heart.
Visit ebstone.org for tips, products, and festive locations near you. Wishing you a season of joy and flourishing greenery. Ho, 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 ho!
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. 916-339-1140 if you want to be a part of the conversation on the call line or the text line. You had some crazy King stats you wanted to get into.
Yes. Shout out our guy Frankie Cardicelli and Wilsey Stats, who always puts together a great compilation of stats and numbers and all that after the game. We'll go with we'll save Frankie for last. You know, we love our guy Frankie over here, so we'll save the best for last. Wilsey also, of course, putting out great stuff. Kings yesterday had 35 assists. So far this season, they are 11-0. When they have 30 plus assists. And, that's a stat that, typically you're probably going to have a winning record when you have over 30 assists. That means that you're hitting shots. It's kind of, it's not a guarantee to hit, if you're going to hit over 30 assists, that probably means you're spraying them all across the court. So, it makes sense, but that was also a number that was really important for them last year too. Had a really successful record when having over 30 assists. And really, I mean, it's just a sign of the fact that to me, the 11 is the most important part. The fact that they've had 11 games so far through 25 games in which they've hit that mark already. That's just crazy. I mean, I know Sabonis is kind of I wouldn't say an assist merchant, if you will, but with his style of play, it leads to a lot of direct, handoffs and one-for-one looks. But it's to me, that just shows also that this team is when they're hitting, which we've talked about a lot in the past, they're just so dangerous because to me, the assist also goes in with the 3-point numbers as well.
Yeah, I think when you look at individual assists, you probably need more context. Like you said, I don't think Sabonis
had 10 assists.
Is Sabonis how much of Sabonis and his assists it being a good passer,
right,
versus the system,
yeah.
right? It's probably a little bit. I feel like we're talking about Brock Purdy.
Right.
We got to get it. We got. By the way, we got Chris Beardman coming up.
Sabonis, Brock Purdy.
Is Domantas Sabonis,
Brock Purdy, Domantas?
Right? Are they cut from the same cloth? So I think you can ask some of those questions. But when you have team assists, I think my takeaway from that is that you are making that extra pass. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're hitting shots, but you're making that extra pass.
Not a lot of ISO ball.
Not a lot of ISO ball. Not a lot of Jordan Poole. I guarantee you. When's the last time the Wizards had 30-plus assists, if they've even done it all season long? So I definitely would say I take more from team assists versus individual assists, unless it's somebody like a Chris Paul, where that's kind of their mantra and what they do.
Yeah, and also, I mean, the fact that they have 0, I know I spent too much time probably giving the caveat of course you're going to have too many wins, but also the fact they haven't lost when hitting over that also tells you that when the offense is clicking and when they're sharing the sugar and the ball is moving around, the ball has energy, they're also not just allowing the other team to do whatever they want. Of course, last year the big talk was yes, the offense is great, but the defense is equally as terrible. At least that's saying, like, when they're playing really good offense or when they're at their best playing offense, they're playing defense as well, or at least not allowing that other team to discount the amount of assist and ball movement that they're producing as well. So I thought that was a really good number. And then from our guy, Frankie Cardicelli, another kind of similar number, but I would say this is probably a more impressive number, especially when you look at the totality of it. Keegan Murray, through his 2 seasons in the NBA so far, has scored 20-plus points in 18 career games. The Kings' record in those 18 games where Keegan scores 20 or more points, 17-1. So
wow.
Wow.
Yes, Jason Ross. Wow, indeed.
Wow.
It's that, and that's telling you, if we're talking about the big three, that's how important Keegan is to this team. Like, they're looking for that third guy, that consistent third option. And, 20 points is probably, Keegan's, I think, at 15 or 16 right now averaging. If he can get up to 19, 18 to 20 points a game, that's where this team can really be dangerous. And that's what they're looking for. When they say a third star next to Sabonis and Fox, it's a guy who's going to be able to put up 20 points on most nights. And if they're 17-1 when Keegan can be that guy, again, it makes you think, do they really need to go out there and get that guy, or should they just try and bring Keegan along and get him to have more of those kind of performances?
Yeah, and if Keegan, again, I don't want to put too much on these next 3 games because it is such a long season. Yeah. But this is such a tough stretch. If they are able to continue to play like this, it's hard, man. Yeah. It's hard. You got to put the trade machine away.
Yeah.
Put it away, at least for this season, and see what happens when you get to the playoffs. You have Bradley Beal going out again.
Right.
The Kings, they're the 4 seed right now.
Yeah.
You're the 4 seed right now. You're behind the Nuggets, who everybody was worried about the Nuggets. Yep. I never thought that the Nuggets had – I know that they have Jokic, and I know that they have a great team. They're a championship team, but I never thought – wow, this team is going to run the table for years. Sure. I think they're going to be a contender for years because of Jokic.
Yeah.
But Jamal Murray has trouble staying on the court. Michael Porter Jr. has trouble staying on the court. The Timberwolves, and then when you get to some of the newer teams, the Timberwolves, the Thunder, they're all in the same boat to me. They're all unproven. And the Kings, by the way, are undefeated against both of those teams.
Facts.
And the Nuggets, actually.
Yep.
So, to me, I think we can't undersell how much the Kings learned from last season in the playoffs. And if you did think, oh, man, the Warriors just seem to have the Kings number, well, they finally did beat the Warriors, and the Warriors are in a free fall. So if the Warriors at this point in time, if they do get into the playoffs,
it's not going to be a problem.
I don't know that it wouldn't be a problem, but it's not the same team. No. So you got them. I think now this is as of today. This is as of December 19th. If anybody makes a move, if Zach LaVine goes to the Lakers or the Warriors actually do get rid of the young bucks and go get a Pascal Siakam, we can rehab this conversation.
Sure.
But as of today, if I'm Monty McNair, how I'm looking at this is I want to see who does something first.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason for me to make the first move, not the way we're playing. And as long as, the Celtics, they're a tough team.
Yeah.
You go 2-1, whatever it is against this, even if it's 1-2, but they're all competitive games. Yeah. I don't think anything past this week should move the needle too much. And as we do get into the scheduling a little bit later, you have your easy stretch coming up. No disrespect to those teams.
Post-Christmas, we've been talking about it for weeks now.
You just gotta get through your finals. Yeah. Okay, you gotta study for your finals and get through. Make sure you do. Kyle, I was big on index cards. I don't know why I said Kyle, but Kyle, you strike me as an index.
School recently.
Yeah, you were in school about a year ago or something like that.
Still. Something like they graduated in 2022.
Oh, there you go. You've been a part of the workforce for a long time. Index cards, that was a big thing for me. That helped me to memorize.
Personally, not an index card person, but I appreciate the gesture.
Shout out Quizlet. Quizlet was great.
You're an index card person?
It's an online index card, so yeah, pretty much. I think it helps a lot.
Online.
Quizlet's great for cheating. I'll say
I'm just getting more gray hairs as I have this conversation. Online index cards.
Online index
What happened to the school I love?
It's pretty great because you can share.
What happened to the education I love? No, I need it. Part of learning, Chris.
Yeah, is writing it. It's the multi-process.
It's writing it down.
Right. You learn it twice then.
That's right.
That's what they always say.
And then you hand it to a buddy or maybe a crush or somebody like that, and you study.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. No.
I guess what's wrong with the youth.
Guess I was just that smart,
Yeah. Work smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
Amen.
I don't want to hear that. Well, hopefully the Kings do pass this test. And again, you have the Celtics. That's tomorrow. The Suns. That's Friday. I'll be in the building as a fan, by the way. So, and by the way, can you help me out? I've been trying to get I need to get a Kings polo, like a Kings golf polo.
Okay.
because I don't want to look too bandwagony.
Yeah, of course.
But I like multi-use things.
Yes,
I can
definitely.
wear it to the game. I can golf in it and
Yep.
beat you next time we go.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm just saying.
You can wear it to family functions.
Yeah.
I mean, they have some in the team store. I mean, I think the problem with any team store in general is going to be especially if you're going to get a polo, it's probably going to run you like 60 plus if I had to guess. And you know, that's not what I'm looking for in my
but you
clothing
have
prices.
a King's polo.
Yeah, I got those at thrift stores. Yeah, that's the game that I'm gonna put you on.
Get your money up,
It's a
not
thrift
your
stores,
funny
man.
up. After that,
Zach's got a great thrift store scene.
okay, well, we can
I'll put
talk
you on.
off air.
I'll put you on.
T-Wolves on Saturday. That's the back-to-back Suns Kings. And then after that, and by the way, Ja Morant returns tonight.
Where is Ja?
He's back. Okay, you have the Blazers the day after Christmas. Then you have the Hawks. We just talked about the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the Grizzlies with Ja, Hornets, Magic, Raptors. Pelicans, right? You got to deal with the Pelicans.
All right.
Then
we got 'em
after
this
that,
time.
you go on your East Coast run. We're now in mid-January. Pistons, Hornets.
Can't wait for that one. Ooh.
Yeah. But hold on now. Then after that, you get at Sixers, at Bucks.
That's fine. That's fine. You got to take two easy with two hard ones.
And before we get to a break,
Come on, Pelican.
and before we get to a break, January 16th, the Kings will be taking on the Suns again. And then January 18th.
Oh, boy.
In
I already know.
Sacramento.
I already know.
He returns, the prodigal son.
Oh, no.
Tyrese
Buddy,
Halliburton.
Gotcha.
Prodigal son's not actually the right term if you know the prodigal son, but it worked there anyway. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we will hear from Chris Peterman talking Kings and Niners. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
The holiday season is right around the corner, so give the gift that's hard to wrap but easy to give. Give them a Stihl. With powerful trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to place under the tree, the Stihl Holiday Gift Guide has something for everyone. Save $40 on the HSA 45 battery-powered hedge trimmer. Visit your local Stihl dealer or go to StihlUSA.com/gift guide. Real Stihl. Find yours. Now $99.99 was $139.99 MSRP. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
I was crossing the street when I met the love of my life. I chased after her. Nothing would stand in my way. Not the dog walker, nor the hot dog vendor. Finally reaching her, I asked, "What do you call that amazing smell?"
It's Gain Flings.
Gain Flings. My love had a name, but more importantly, it had a scent.
Fall in love with Gain Flings. Seriously good scent. Gain Flings with 50% more freshness ingredients versus leading bargain detergent.
I always approach the holidays with a sense of excitement and a time to be with family. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa for Naturewood Home Furnishings. For me, the best times were when there were 3 generations all celebrating together. Today, we're the grandparents, and the holiday spotlight shines on my grandson. And I hope he'll remember holidays the way his papa does. Right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create your own kind of holiday memories during their holiday home sale. Unique gifts found only at Naturewood, like hall trees, curios, chairside tables, and more, are available at savings of 20% off. During Naturewood's holiday home sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will live with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports' IMAX Pass by visiting SacktownSports.com and sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's film at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a
real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill is turning me into a pro. Napoleon Grills has features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills. Now is the time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories for the holidays.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
Live and local, it's got Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports taking up to 2 p.m. Kyle Ledbetter behind the glass doing a great job. Always. An NBA All-Star voting is now open. So vote for your favorite King if you want to see them in the All-Star game. And we are joined by Chris Biederman of the Candlestick Chronicles and the Sacramento Bee. Chris Biederman, thank you for joining us.
Of course. How you guys doing?
We're
Great.
good, man. We're good. Let's start here with the Kings and their dismantling of the Wizards, who aren't very good anyway. Take away from that, and would you say that we should put the trade machine away for the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, my whole thing with the trade machine and sort of the talk has been, are the Kings going to be able to match what these teams are going to be asking for some potential upgrades, right? Like if you look at the Kings, while they do have some movable contracts, whether it's Harrison Barnes or Kevin Huerter, I don't know how appealing those guys are going to be to another team when, you know, there's going to be a long line of potential suitors for somebody like Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby. And it's pretty clear, I think even before the last two games when Keegan Murray's gotten red hot, that the Kings were never really in a position where they felt like they would trade Keegan Murray. So yeah, I think there's certainly value in Sacramento keeping this core together and trying to see if Keegan can continue improving, if some of the other guys can continue improving. But yeah, like they to me are they can compete with just about anybody in the West. Night in and night out is the consistency is really the thing. And as good as it was for them to put up that offensive performance against the Wizards last night, you heard De'Aaron Fox talking about it too. Like they still allowed the 23rd ranked offense in Washington to shoot over 50%, right? And I know the Kings sort of fall into this trap sometimes, particularly at home, where they just feel like a run is coming offensively at any point, and that certainly happened in the third quarter. But for them to get to that next level, and Mike Brown talks about this all the time, it's about intensity, physicality on the defensive end, and they have to improve that if they're going to win in the playoffs. And as good as it was to see Domantas Sabonis have a triple-double against that team with very, very little, if any, inside presence, the question for me when it comes to Sabonis, regardless of whatever regular season stats he puts up, is can he replicate it in the playoffs? And you know, last year still happened. It should be fresh in everyone's mind. And it's a completely different game when the game changes to a postseason atmosphere and format and the way teams approach playing the Kings. So that to me is going to be a far bigger question for Sabonis than what he does on a Monday in December against one of the worst teams in the league.
Chris, I know you were around during the summer around the Kings when they were talking a lot about, especially during the California Classic, about Keegan's leap. And, you know, Luke Laux had compared the leap from year 1 to year 2 to Kawhi Leonard and all that stuff. And, you know, there's just a lot of hype around Keegan Murray and the leap that he was going to take and the impact he was going to have on this team this season. It was, you know, a slow start offensively for him. But obviously the 47 career high on Saturday. Do you feel like after that game, like, did you feel like you had to reevaluate how you kind of view Keegan's future, or was that kind of a fruition of something that you felt like, you know, the Kings had already believed in and had already kind of baked into their timeline?
Yeah, it felt like to me, and we've seen this all the time, right? Like in the NBA, sometimes a second season can be a little bit more difficult than a rookie season,
Yeah.
particularly for somebody like Keegan, whose role has changed as dramatically as it has. Before his back injury, he was shooting 29% from three, and in the game since his returning, he's over 50%. Right. So it never felt like, given how good of a shooter we know Keegan Murray to
Right.
be, it never felt like he was going to shoot 29% over the entire season. The question was, would that efficiency come, and would he still be able to handle the increased load defensively and the playmaking load offensively, after being mostly a spot up shooter last year? And I think the answer is going to be yes, right? Like, we're not even at Christmas yet. And so Keegan Murray's numbers are climbing back up to what we would expect them to be. So for me, like, the shooting slump that Keegan went in to start the season never really felt like something to be all that concerning. But I think it's an indicator that, like, if Keegan Murray plays well and shoots well, the Kings are going to be really, really difficult to beat. And if Keegan Murray doesn't, then the Kings are going to be a heck of a lot easier to beat, right? I think it's as simple as that. Like, they can score with anybody when Keegan Murray is going, like he has been going the last few games. So to me, that's just a huge barometer for where the Kings are at, and not to put too much pressure on them, but, like, if Keegan Murray does that in the playoffs, then the Kings are going to be able to win a round or two, or maybe even three, right? So if not, then the Kings are going to have a really hard time. So there's a lot on Keegan Murray's shoulders in terms of that, but no, like, the early season shooting slump never really bothered me in terms of, like, what I thought his long-term future would look like. I still think he has a ceiling of an all-star player and somebody who could be in that all-NBA discussion down the line. But for now, to see him adjust and to see him come out of that shooting slump is got to be really encouraging.
Talking to Chris Biederman of the Candlestick Chronicles and the Sacramento Bee, switching over to the Niners, Chris, who got an early Christmas present last night with the Seahawks taking down the Eagles. Before we get into what this means, and I know Chris has some questions about the Ravens game. What do you think? I'm just sitting here watching this game, man, and I'm just trying to think to myself, and I know the Cardinals scored a little bit more than the Niners would have liked, but what is the Niners' biggest weakness, number one? And number two, does it even matter? Does it even matter? I'm thinking, okay, well, it was the nickel cornerback, and now the secondary is very strong. And then it was, we didn't know about Brock Purdy. Now we know about Brock Purdy. Do they even have any weaknesses right now? And they face the Ravens. The Ravens lose their stud running back in Keaton Mitchell. So I don't know, man. Is there anything that even worries you about this Niners team besides injury?
Not really. I mean, you look at, I think it's injury, right? If Deebo Samuel has to miss more time, if Trent Williams ever has to miss more time, like, and you can say that about any team. So, but like, there's some historic numbers being thrown out there. If you guys follow DVOA, this is like one of the best teams in history. It's the best team from a DVOA perspective in 49ers history, which is saying something, right? There were some dominant teams in the 80s and 90s. And I think Aaron Schatz, who came on our podcast recently, had said that this is the best team from a DVOA perspective this late in the season since, I think, 2005 or something like that. Like, this is a historically good team, and you look at the collection of talent and the quarterback play and the defense, like, it's just extremely well rounded, and you could make a case that the 49ers interior of the offensive line was problematic earlier in the season. It feels like they've shored that up. I don't know if John Feliciano is going to stay the starter, but he's played at a pretty high level since coming in for Spencer Burford, who's been out with injury recently. And like, I still have questions, like, if the 49ers are down 14 points in the fourth quarter and they have to do the drop back game, like, can the offensive line hold up against a really good pass rush when the defense knows the 49ers have to pass and throw the ball downfield? But to this point, like, the Niners are just too good to fall behind by multiple scores and be in that position. So, there are questions like, can they win this type of game if the game script goes another way? They're just too good. Like, they avoid getting into those scenarios, so it might not even matter. So at this point, with the way Brock Purdy's playing and all the numbers are pointing to him being an MVP, I do think Monday's game, particularly against Lamar Jackson, can go a long way towards helping him from a narrative perspective if he outplays Lamar. We've seen Brock Purdy, frankly, outplay a lot of the guys who are in that MVP discussion, maybe with the exception of Joe Burrow in that Cincinnati game before Burrow got hurt. But I don't know. Like, I don't know what the 49ers weakness is. You could say health, but I think you could say that about any team in the league. So I think this is probably the most well-rounded 49ers team we've seen under Kyle Shanahan, and it might be the most well-rounded 49ers team we've seen since they last won a Super Bowl in 1994-95.
So, I mean, on that note, I saw a tweet the other day that pretty much outlined, I mean, just all the statistics that are like the individual numbers. I think Brock's a touchdown away from 30. He's 200 yards away from 4,000. Debo's almost got 1,000 scrimmage yards. Kittle's almost at 1,000 receiving yards. Ayuk's already at 1,000. McCaffrey's 3 touchdowns away from Jerry Rice's record for touchdowns in a season. Where are you putting this offense all time? Is this the best 49er in the 49er scope of things, franchise wise? Is this the best offense you've seen? Would you put this in the category of best 49ers offenses, period? Where are you with where this offense stacks?
You know, I think it's probably the most well-rounded and balanced offense the 49ers have ever had, right? Like, as good as Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel are, you wouldn't never say that either of those guys are as good as Jerry Rice, right? But not. Jerry Rice never had somebody like Christian McCaffrey flanking him, or George Kittle flanking him, or even, you know, John Taylor was good, but he wasn't as good as Deebo Samuel or Brandon Ayuk, right? So I think in terms of the balance this offense has, the multitude of ways they can beat you, I think this is the best offense that the 49ers have had in their history. I wouldn't say Brock Purdy, you know, obviously he has a long way to go. If he continues playing like this every year, then maybe we can have the discussion about, you know, comparing him to Joe Montana and Steve Young. But just from this season and the numbers that he's putting up, it's as good as any MVP season we've seen. You know, put his numbers, just his pure numbers, against any MVP of the last 10 years, and they compare pretty favorably, right? And so, you know, I just, with the way Kyle Shanahan's calling plays, with the, you know, Trent Williams is probably the best offensive lineman the 49ers have had in their history. I think that's fair to say. You can make a case that Christian McCaffrey is the best running back the 49ers have had in their history. You can make the same case for George Kittle at tight end. So they might not have a Jerry Rice, but they have overall a better complement of weapons. And with Kyle Shanahan calling the plays, this is like Bill Walsh type stuff. Like, this is an evolved version of Bill Walsh's offense. So I think you can absolutely put this team in the conversation with any of the best 49ers offense in their history, which is saying a lot, because this is a pretty historic franchise, particularly when it comes to the offensive side.
Chris Biederman, Candlestick Chronicles in the Sacramento Bee. Chris, thank you as always. We will talk to you again next week, and let's be honest, we'll probably be talking about another Niners W.
But yeah, I mean, Monday's game is going to be a really fun one in terms of, like, okay, how legit is this looking? And if they play Baltimore like they have all these other teams, and it's hard not to get excited about what the 49ers can be when it comes to winning the Super Bowl.
There you go, Chris. Enjoy the rest of your week. We'll talk to you soon.
Likewise, man.
All righty. That was Chris Biederman of the Candlestick Chronicles in the Sacramento Bee. We got to get to a break. When we get back, more Niners talk. Debo says they aren't playing up to their full potential. Are they just messing with us now? Really? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
It's Carmichael Day with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wings Day Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday.
You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from and the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sacktown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking up to 2 p.m. Thank you to Chris Biederman for joining us of the Candlestick Chronicles and the Sacramento Bee, talking Kings and Niners. He just does it all. Basically, Chris Biederman said there are no weaknesses with the Niners.
He's not wrong.
Because saying injury, that's like saying your favorite subject in school is PE.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. It just, that doesn't count.
He also said they're the best football team since 2005. I heard it. According to DVOA.
You got to get this, man. And I have a buddy who continues to say, he is a Niner fan, but he continues to say, I mean, the playoffs, they're going to be different, and they're going to be this, and there's going to be that. I just don't see it unless there is some type of injury. But with this team as presently constructed, who is going to stop them? Chris, I get surprised when they punt.
No, for sure.
What was it? That was the last time they punted since Thanksgiving or something insane like that when they had to punt this past weekend.
I feel like, to Chris's point, though, the only thing that still would make me nervous is, and I was even thinking about it, that's sad that in the morning, one of my first 10 thoughts is, how could the 49ers get eliminated from the playoffs? But here we are. It's if they get down, and Biederman put 14 in the fourth. To me, if they're down 14 in the fourth, that game is over. I just haven't seen that. But even if it's just they start the game down 10-0 at the end of the first quarter, like I still think about that Eagles game and how differently that could have gone. We've got some colorful glasses from that game because of the last three quarters, but that first quarter was a little dicey, okay? Niners couldn't get anything going. I think that was the last time they punted. I'm pretty sure they punted the first two drives of that game, and the Eagles didn't capitalize. They kicked they tried to kick two. Did they? Yes, they made both field goals.
They made both, but it was 6-0 at the end of the first.
6-0 could have been 10-0, you could argue. I mean, obviously, if they convert, it could be 14-0 at that point. That's where it's, and the Niners are going to have the benefit at least of hopefully being at home for the playoffs, but going down 10-0 is still the thing that we have not seen this Niners team do this season. And that was and has been a major question since the start of the year. Now, again, of course, there is the counter, and everybody's totally right to say it because it hasn't happened yet. Maybe it just will continue to not happen. But if you are saying what is the formula or how could they lose, to me, it's by putting them in a situation that they just haven't prepared for or haven't had to execute so far this season.
Well, we've said the same thing about the Eagles, I feel like, last season.
Definitely. No, and that's the thing. It might not come to fruition, but if you're saying it's just that's not impossible to me.
If you go back 4 years ago, that's how the Lamar Jackson Ravens lost in the playoffs after they won 12 regular season games in a row. Yep.
Yeah,
it was they missed a fourth down conversion. Titans scored a touchdown. Missed a fourth down conversion. Titans scored a touchdown, and then they sat on the lead.
Yeah. And I know they ended up coming back from it, but let's not forget. You remember those Chiefs comebacks that they had to execute, even in the wild card. I think they were down 24-0 on the Texans.
They scored 52 points in 3 quarters.
You just never know. Like you
never
don't
know.
Like, especially any given Sunday, man. Like it's especially in playoffs. Like just the level of focus and attention to detail. If the Niners do get a first round bye, there's always the conversation of, well, is that actually good for you because that other team's got tons of momentum?
We'll have to have that convo.
Those could all just be narratives and things for you and me to talk about, and they might not even truly matter. But I'm not trying to put fear out there to 49er fandom, but I'm just saying it might look like it's going to be the easiest path that it's ever been. But even then, that's when life can come and really surprise you.
So Chris Biederman talked a lot about DVOA, and I wanted to explain it for anybody who might not know. This is from FTNFantasy.com, the ultra short version of DVOA by Aaron Schatz, who Chris Biederman brought up. DVOA measures a team's efficiency by comparing success on every single play to a league average based on situation and opponent.
Yes.
So it's supposed to be the most realistic stat that includes the Cardinals are trash.
Yeah.
This team is good versus just pure numbers.
It's
so
the stat I go to all the time for football analysis.
I was going to
It's
say,
so good.
It's like the big, I say this lovingly, it's the big football nerd stat, honestly. Like if like that's the one that they're going to throw out there, and that's just like the end all be all.
And me, a football nerd, loves this stat.
Exactly.
There you
it's
go.
it's because it's a great stat.
Exactly. Let's hear from Debo as we talk about how the Niners are playing at such a high level. Debo thinks that they can crank it up a notch.
You know, as we continue to stack these days, stack these games, stack these wins, we still not playing to our best potential and still leaving stuff out there on the field. And that's things that neither you know or people out there know. It's just like within the building, like things that we know we have to work on for us, like just little things of one block here with Spring Christian free probably like 3-4 more times, or a block here with got Brock a little bit more time in the pocket to throw another ball. It's just like little things like that.
Yeah. I mean, you have to look for something. And these guys are on a mission. That's why when we talk about these revenge tours, as we get into a little bit of some Seahawks and Eagles talk, and you called them the Seagulls yesterday. That's what the Eagles look like at the end. They look like the Seagulls. As we think about the Niners and these revenge tours, right? The Niners had a revenge tour in a completely different way. They felt like they didn't get a true shot at the NFC crown when Brock Purdy went down. So they were raring to go. The Eagles, you had your opportunity. You got to the Super Bowl. And I saw something on an Eagles Reddit page yesterday as it got reposted on Eagles Twitter, whatever. And it said, man, the Niners didn't have their QB in Philly last. And I'm going to tell Kyle Draper this. We do crossover. The Niners didn't have their QB, and we were able to beat them. We really should have got it done in this past Super Bowl because the Niners look like they're going to be running the NFC for the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting way of looking at it for sure. I mean, especially when you consider, at the very least, this thing's going to continue on to next year, too.
That says as much about the Eagles as it does about the Niners because, look, people thought I was a Brock Purdy hater for wanting to see more of Brock Purdy. What people didn't listen to was me saying, I know they had to pay Jalen Hurts, but are we sure Jalen Hurts is that dude?
Worth getting paid, right?
He had 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year and
1.5, yeah.
1.5, right? But playing like this, though, right? I know they made the playoffs.
Yeah, he played really well that second half.
So 1.5, basically, essentially Brock now, right?
Yes.
Or less
yes.
Yeah, but still more than Brock, right? Still more than Brock.
Yeah, barely, yeah.
You felt good about it. More than you felt good about it. You didn't, in this day and age, you don't really have a choice. Yeah. These guys are running 4 plays. I saw they are getting absolutely roasted. Okay, I saw something. It felt like me. I told you how I don't really game. When I played Madden, I had 4 options. I did the slant, the go, the XYZ, the go route. Everybody goes
and a read option, maybe.
And a read option. Yeah. And those are the 4 plays that the Eagles run.
And the tush push.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. So it says as much about the Eagles as it does. The Eagles are done. They're done.
Oh,
okay,
you're calling it?
I'm calling it
Time
now.
of death right now.
And Kyle, when we come back, we can hear from Jalen his sound about what was he even saying? He was saying
he was sick yesterday, man.
Well, we aren't committed enough.
We aren't committed enough. He got. And by the way, Jalen, I don't believe shook hands, which I don't necessarily care about. I don't know if he ended up finding Drew Lock, but Drew Lock said Drew Lock was feeling himself yesterday, and Drew Lock says, "I guess he's sick."
Yeah,
he said that, and he knew where the camera was all day long.
Yes,
and I would do the same thing. I can't even lie.
Hit him with the LeBron and D Wade in the finals when they were making fun of Dirks.
Yeah, no, that's literally it. He's like, "I guess he's sick."
Yeah,
I guess he's sick.
He ain't got time to meet the winning quarterback.
You were talking about running the same 4 plays over and over again. The last 2 games, the Dallas and the Seattle game, non-A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert receivers have a combined 3 catches for 6 yards.
Oof. See, but that's interesting to me because are we sure you need more than 3? That doesn't really move me the same way.
They've scored 27 points in those 2 games.
No, I know, but who is it? Watkins, right? They have a couple other guys.
Yeah, I call him
their leading receiver is Julio Jones with 1 catch and 6 yards.
I don't know how many. Okay, if you look at the Bengals, they have Tyler Boyd, they have Jamar Chase, right? They have T. Higgins. Anything more than how many guys actually have more than
when
three
Jalen
legit
Hurts,
options?
when Jalen Hurts starts throwing
the running back
picks, that's when it becomes predictable. It's like it's going to one of these two guys and maybe Goddard, but like. That's why I think the interceptions are a problem because Jalen Hurts is not an accurate quarterback at all.
So what you're telling me is that Juwan Jennings will be an Eagle next season.
They could use him.
Third and Juwan. They just keep swapping.
Maybe just throw
players.
to a running back every now and again. Throw to a running back.
Yeah, and that's funny because coming out of college, DeAndre Swift, that was kind of his thing.
Yeah,
he was one of those scat back type guys.
Pretty good.
Gainwell as well. So the Eagles are cooked. They're done. I'm calling it now. And I will tell Kyle Draper that when he walks in at 1:45. They're done.
He's going to have something for you.
No, they're done. Allen!
He was pretty dejected after the Cowboys
He's going to
loss.
Allen, they're not going to let you back in Philly. They're not going to let you on the plane. They're not going to let you on the plane.
So
but I'm
start
saying
disrespecting your favorite
the
cheesesteak.
Seahawks, and people are saying, "Oh, did the Niners break the Eagles?" No, they didn't. No. The Eagles went to a Super Bowl, so they had a high level of success. So they lost coordinators, they lost players, and they weren't able to get it done.
They also lost a lot of style this year.
And they lost a lot of style. Right, exactly.
They have Matt Patricia calling plays.
Oh, I heard that.
And we did this. We did this last week. How often do teams that lost the Super Bowl go back? Right. Hardly never. So everybody should have saw this coming. And you have a Niners team who feel like we were supposed to be there.
Right.
We were supposed to be there. All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, continuing to talk Niners and Kings, we will break down the importance of Keegan Murray and Domantas Sabonis, and we will close the loop on the lowly Wizards. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision crafted performance is at your fingertips.
At American Energy, their number one priority is making sure you and your family are comfortable in your home for the holidays. And that's why they're giving away a free whole home HVAC system to one lucky family in the greater Sacramento area. Now, if you or you know a family in need of being comfortable this winter, enter for your chance to win the American Energy Comfort Giveaway by going to the AEway.com today. You could win a free whole home HVAC system. American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. For official contest rules, go to the AEway.com.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install the new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
At Jim Boy's Tacos, you get a ho lot of flavor for under $10. Our classic #2 combo meal spreads cheer with a farm-dusted ground beef taco, scratch-made bean and cheese burrito, and a soft drink. So jingle on down to Jim Boy's or order online at participating locations.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
It is 11:29, which means it's time to check out Capital Casino, conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
We didn't execute. I don't think we're committed enough. Just got to turn it around. It's a challenge that we have to embrace. Just continue to see it through.
There is no way, Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, there is no way that this Eagles team is going to be able to, they could still win the NFC East, but there's no way, so I guess that might be the only place. I guess they would only have to travel to the Niners, right?
Yeah,
if they win the NFC
East, yeah.
If they win the NFC East. They ain't coming to Santa Clara and winning. There is no way.
I wish I had your confidence.
There's no way.
Yeah, I think they would be like an 8.5-point favorite in that game.
Really?
Yeah.
Who would you give a better shot to?
I just can't. I can
The
never say
Lions.
never in football. I just can't. Things can happen. Absolutely.
I'm saying Niners are healthy.
Yeah, I mean, I still think anything can happen.
Look, the way things are going for the Eagles right now, let's say they lose the division, they get the 5 seed, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Are you certain that they're going to go into Tampa and beat Baker Mayfield's Bucks? Are you certain about it?
If they get the 5 seed, I'm not even wasting my breath talking about the Eagles anymore. The only way I talk about the Eagles anymore is if they win the NFC East.
Okay.
That's it. And now we can talk about the Cowboys, who are fraudulent in their own right.
Well, now that's another story.
My confidence about the Niners
How
is as
often
much
does the best team win in football? That's my question.
That's a good question. Last season, I would say that were the Eagles better than the Chiefs? Maybe, probably.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Before that,
I'd say so, yeah.
Who was that? Before that,
Was
that the
was that Tom? I can't remember. I can't remember how these Super Bowls go these days. I think it was
the Tampa Bay Bucks won in
that's what I
20
thought.
in
I
the
thought it was-
2020 season. So the Super Bowls recently have gone Kansas City, Rams, Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Before that was Patriots, Eagles,
Rams
Patriots.
2022. Why does that feel so much
it feels
longer ago?
so long ago.
Because that was kind of a lost season.
It was.
Because the thing people
anytime
remember,
Matt Stafford wins the Super Bowl, right?
the thing people remember from that season is that Buffalo Kansas City 13 seconds game, and neither team made the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right.
So going from 2020, Kansas City beat San Francisco. Were they better? Were they the best team in the league?
Chiefs, I'd probably say
They had
so,
Tyreek
yeah.
fully loaded.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay beats Kansas City. Was Tampa Bay the best team?
I would say
were
so.
hot.
I would say so. Their defense was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Brady threw for like 4,000.
Rams beat the Bengals. Were they the best team?
I guess.
So the Rams, according to DVOA, were 5th in the league that year that they won the Super Bowl.
In total defense, because
In
I know there's
total
offense
defense.
and defense.
Who was one?
One was Dallas that year.
Okay, see.
And
then last season, the Chiefs beat the Eagles. I think the Eagles might have actually been better than the Chiefs.
So
Which
at
is
least
why it
seems
burns
like
so
at the
much.
very least they make the dance. The best team will usually at least make it to the Super Bowl for the most part. I mean that Bengals Rams year maybe not, but it feels like for the most part. I'm just saying, like I'm not saying there's 100%. I'm not saying there's no way X team can beat Y team. Just I feel like I've and especially come playoff time. I just feel like weird things happen sometimes. And, like you never know, like what the Chiefs had, the 49ers, I think, have had enough quarterback issues in the playoffs, but like, Chad Henne ended up playing a pretty big role for the Chiefs in their run last year. So, I just mean anything can happen.
So over the last 12 seasons, I'm just going off DVOA because that's what I have in front of me. Over the last 12 seasons, only 3 times has the number 1 team in DVOA won the Super Bowl. It was last year, Kansas City. It was the Legion of Boom Seahawks, and it was the Patriots 28-3 Super Bowl. It's the only time that the number 1 team in DVOA won the Super Bowl.
Which the Niners are right now.
Yeah, the Bucks of 2020 were number 2 at least.
Looks like it's going to be the 4th. I'm telling you, man.
I mean, it should be there. It's 100%. Like, I mean, if you're looking at the landscape, I think I said it yesterday, but like the Niners are the only great team out there.
Brock doesn't miss
Everybody else is
throws,
good.
and these dudes are open. They're open.
No, for sure.
They're open.
But what if they're not? And it just takes. That's the thing about football is it just takes 1 week. It just takes 1 week of being off. It just takes one bad throw. It takes one off. I mean, how about I saw this stat the other day. I think it might have been David Lombardi who put the Niners the last 3 weeks have missed more tackles than they had like all season long. They're now in double-digit missed tackles the last 3 straight weeks. Like, I don't like things like that. Getting tired, like
I'll give you
those things can play into effect.
I'll give you this, and we asked Chris Biederman, Candlestick Chronicles, the weakness, and one thing that escaped my mind because it didn't come back to bite them is special teams.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do with Ronnie Bell. They're going to they're going to have to put Debo back there.
Yeah.
There were a couple times.
Right,
where a couple a fumble that ended up not being a fumble, a pick that ended up not being a pick.
Do you think that was a weird play on Sunday where it was like his forearm? They were trying to say if his forearm didn't hit, then it wasn't a fumble, but if it was just his wrist hit, then it was like
whatever the call was. I think it wasn't going to get changed.
Sure.
So now we wait, and I'm mad. Yeah. I'm mad that Keaton Mitchell's out. First of all, I feel bad for the kid because he was balling.
Yeah.
Second of all, Lamar already lost Mark Andrews.
Right.
They just continue to lose pieces, and that's another part of this too. Every other team is a bit broken in some way. I know the Niners aren't 100% healthy, but they got the Avengers at the offensive positions, and they got Trent Williams, right, who should be part of the Avengers, to be completely honest with you. He could be the Hulk or whatever it is. So that's the other part of this. The Chiefs' inability to have a functional receiver, right?
Yep.
The Ravens can't keep guys on the field, which I feel like the Ravens can never keep guys on the field.
I still don't believe in the Ravens either.
That's why I really wanted this game. I wanted this game so bad, and we'll see. I probably would have still picked the Niners anyway, but without Mitchell out, another weapon for Lamar, the Niners are going to take care of business. I think Brock Purdy's going to sew up the MVP. His odds are already ridiculous. They're at minus 150. So Brock Purdy, he's going to get MVP. And then to go back to the NFC, the Lions can't stop a cold if they had Kleenex in their hand, right?
Yeah,
they can't stop anything. You have the Eagles, who we just talked about, the Cowboys, who this was the opportunity for the Cowboys to show they aren't fraudulent. Turns out they are.
Whoops.
So it's just as much about the field as it is about the Niners for me.
Sure. No, absolutely. I mean, the field, because to your point, like the field does look about as weak as it's looked. I can't even remember the last time it's felt like a team just was so head and shoulders above everybody else. Like, I mean, because again, it doesn't even feel like there's another team that's at the Niners tier. Like, it feels like the Niners are in a tier by themselves, and then there is just a ton of scrappy teams that, again, maybe on their best week could contest with being in that tier, but for the most part just have so much inconsistency that you can't really ever believe in.
And this is years and years, and thank you to CK916 on the SAC chat. Yeah, it did get changed. I was in the car. I had my Red Zone playing in the car as I was driving back from brunch, had the family come up. So yeah, it did get changed, which was a little bit surprising for me, and a lucky break for the Niners.
Yeah.
So stuff like that goes in a different direction. Who knows what happens there? But you got to think this is years and years and years of the Niners getting so close. You got to allow this core most of this core got to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They thought they could take care of business, didn't take care of business. NFC championship after NFC championship, Jimmy Garoppolo or whoever it is just couldn't get it. Let's not, Jaquaski Tard and not catching the interception. All these things have culminated to this. And that is something that DVOA can't measure. That is something that no stat can measure. But they're tired, okay? We talk about the bridesmaid. I seen my best friend get married. I've seen my sister get married.
Right.
I see my little cousin who's 5 years younger than me get married. It's my time. I want to walk down the aisle, and that's what the Niners are saying.
Sounds like a lot of pressure.
Come on. Well, we know what pressure does.
Hey, it makes diamonds.
It's going to.
Sometimes it
makes MVPs.
Completely crumble something,
It
too.
makes MVPs. That's what it makes.
I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying that there is weird, and I'm not even, the Niners to me just feel like they should do it. It's just weird, stranger things have happened. That's just where I'm getting at.
916-339-1140. You want to be a part of the conversation. 510 says the field looked like nobody had a chance when the Patriots went into the playoffs undefeated.
Right. And nobody also would have said that the Giants were going to win those games.
Well, so think about the last time the Niners were in the Super Bowl in 2019. Like, that Packers team that they blew out in the NFC Championship game is probably better than any team in the NFC this year. So I'm thinking that this year might actually be more wide open than any of the years in the recent Niners regime.
Yeah,
I would think so. In terms of like the run being the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like
I can't remember. They played Kirk Cousins Vikings in the divisional round.
They sure did.
Yeah.
That was not a problem for the Niners.
Yeah, the Vikings were just happy to be there.
They sure were.
They were happy to beat
They're happy
Saints.
they beat the Saints, exactly.
Which, by the way, fun fact, the 6th seed in the NFC has beaten the 3 seed 6 years in a row in the playoffs.
That helps. That helps the Niners.
So maybe if they get the 1 seed, they'll be playing against the Josh Dobbs Vikings.
Oh, we don't want to see. Well, I don't know.
Definitely.
Or Nick Mullins or Jaron Hall.
All right.
Yikes.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, we're going back over to the Beam team and the Kings. Have your expectations for the Kings changed? And how important are the next 3 games? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to hand-stitched leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
Sacktown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sacktown Sports.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee, structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sacktown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. That's where we're at with the Niners as we move back into Kings. We're just waiting. We're all just waiting. Are you going to get it done? Are you going to – is the quest for 6 over? Okay.
Oh, my gosh. I hope so.
Is there going to be a parade in Santa Clara?
How many
or San Jose?
6 shirts are out there?
Oh, they're still
where
out.
It's just like, no, I know, but how many different iterations are the 2023 version of Quest for 6?
No,
2019 version of Quest for 6.
No, yeah, they shut that down. Yeah. Once I think the second go round, once they didn't get it, they said, all right.
Guys,
were the promotional T-shirts for Jeff Garcia saying the same thing?
Probably. They might be mad because we can't just go back to what we've been going back to. They got to think of something new, right? And they got FTTB, Faithful to the Bay, whatever.
That's right, I have seen
whatever that is. So they got a couple different things as we
something that won't age as poorly.
Well, we hope not. We hope not.
As they're not rooted anywhere.
Yeah, rooted in.
It's not like they're in Santa Clara, right?
Rooted in Santa Clara, which is the Bay. You know, I was actually talking with someone
because
we have the Bay.
Brendan, I think, weren't you?
Was it Brendan?
I think it was Brendan because he's from San Jose, and you were like, "Yeah, man, come on,
San Jose. It's not close. I mean." It's the Bay, but
yeah,
if you're
my rule was, and is this like a share? Like my thing is, if BART connects to it, it's the Bay. I don't know if San Jose.
I don't believe it does.
I don't know if they
unless they made a new. They've been making new.
Right, I know they've been making new extensions.
I think you got to you got to take Caltrain.
Yeah,
which is a different,
and that's not.
Technically, yes. So they added Berryessa probably 3-4 years ago. Maybe less than that, and that is also known as the North San Jose Station. But it wasn't OG.
Yeah,
it wasn't OG though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's tough. I mean, that's pretty definition of borderline there. I don't know. That sounds like that's up to a Bay Area. That's not on me, a Sacramento, a non-Bay Area.
But people say me. So I grew up in Concord, and Concord is the East Bay and has BART and everything like that. But some people would try to say, well, Concord,
you're not near water.
Exactly. And I said, all right, enough now.
Yeah, that's
enough. This is the Bay Area, okay? I'm not leaving.
You're not saying it's the area.
If San Jose ain't got to leave, then I'm not going nowhere.
Concord,
all right, I'm not going anywhere. 916-339-1140. Let's get out to 10 who wants to talk some Kings. What's up, 10? You're on Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
I have so much to say. One at a time, right?
One at a time.
Okay. Sacktown Sports, I have a question. You say the home of the San Francisco Niners and Kings. Why not include the SF Giants in there?
Yeah, well, that's just who we're the flagships for, so that's why we say home of, because you can hear every Niners game and every Kings game here on these airwaves.
It's more of just like
there you go.
Yeah.
But we talk Giants too.
Especially Alan. Alan will talk Giants.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Yeah, I'm going to get into more baseball, so let's keep that talk interesting. Go, everyone.
Thanks, Tin. Yeah, as the Giants actually did make some moves for another
get Tin up on some baseball game, Alan.
Yeah,
real quick. What's the latest in?
The Giants are now.
News here?
Yeah, the Giants are now at capacity for their 40-man roster as they make another move.
They traded for somebody this morning. Right?
Yeah, they traded. Here you go for T.J. Hopkins.
Sure.
And
isn't that the former quarterback of the Texans?
No, it's DeAndre's cousin.
Yeah, that's right. This is from the Giants 2 hours ago. The Giants and Reds made a trade this morning with outfielder T.J. Hopkins joining the Giants organization in exchange for a player to be named later or cash considerations.
Either one.
So the Giants are continuing to make some moves.
So in terms of impact players, who have they really added this year? I mean, I know obviously, Lee was
Jung-Hoo Lee is the big one.
signing.
And besides that, it's been some, smaller moves here, there.
Any big departures? Like is Jock's officially gone, right? Or
Is Jock
I don't know
gone?
if he's officially gone, but I did see that there was some whispers or rumors about him being heavily linked somewhere.
He posted a video, right? He posted a video or a picture with the Fanatic, the Philly from the Phillies, and he said it's
Maybe
always
it was just
better.
a recruiting pitch.
But I don't remember that being official. This is from Jeff Passan. This was yesterday. Catcher Tom Murphy's deal with the San Francisco Giants is for 2 years, $8 million, with a club option for the third year that has $250,000 buyout.
Interesting.
So people are saying that he is Patrick Bailey's backup, which has essentially ended the Joey Bart era, which I'm be honest, I was wrong on Joey Bart.
Yeah,
obviously a lot of people
I think the
were.
Giants were too, right?
That's why he was drafted so high. But I was high on Joey Bart, and I wanted to hold out for Joey Bart, and it just didn't happen. He couldn't hit.
No, I mean, and do you know the latest on the Yamamoto Giants pursuit as well? I know that there was more so last week, right?
Yeah, I know the Giants still want him, and he is being called a Tim Lincecum with better command.
Wow.
That is what people are seeing.
It's looking like Yankees for him, but it's not confirmed yet.
If he goes to the Yankees, then Frankie Cardicelli is not allowed on the round table tomorrow. He can't.
I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, but it looks like Yankees to lose. But we'll see.
Well,
I just want Frankie to be
coming on the
happy.
show.
I just want Frankie.
No, he already got Juan Soto. I want to be happy. I want to be happy, all right?
But
it's my turn. It's my turn. I told you it's my turn as we begin to talk Kings, as we creep to the 12 o'clock hour. Want to close the loop on the Wizards real quick because, there are a lot of A's fans out here, and the A's have had a rough go. Kyle will wear the sell shirts, and we've had reverse boycotts and things like that. I'm not saying the Wizards need to sell the franchise, but they need to sell all their players. Jordan Poole can go. We gave up some teams yesterday.
Yep.
The Miami Heat, because Jimmy Butler, you won't mess around with that.
Yep.
The Milwaukee Bucks, you have Giannis. He's from that area. Giannis can say, hey, man, stop with this messing around. We saw flashes last night. Night from Jordan Poole. We saw
eight threes yesterday.
And Jordan Poole, a lot of people were joking him because of that terrible defensive effort, if you want to even call it that.
Yeah.
But I believe somebody also said
doing a lot of work.
Well, I believe somebody also said that he had 2 fouls at that point, and he did not want to pick up a third. And it looked really bad because it's Jordan Poole, but it was an excuse to not play defense. Why do you already have 2 fouls? So either way, bad look on Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole had 28 points, like you said, 8 threes. Kyle Kuzma, the jacuzzi, he had 27 points. Besides that, Avdia is a good piece. Like you said, Gaffer could be a good piece. They are the land of misfit toys.
Yeah.
That's what the Wizards are. Yeah. They are Coach Carter. They are Richmond High. Blow it up, pull a Jazz, whoever it is, get a bunch of picks and just start over.
Yeah.
Start over.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I would go if I were them, because they're not even in, like you said, they're not in a Jazz situation. They're not in an OKC Thunder situation where, you're not very good, but at least you have just an absolute war chest of picks where, if you really like a prospect, maybe you can cash in some of those picks, or, there's at least a light at the end of the tunnel. With the Wizards, your future is suck.
What is your plan?
You better suck bad
plan?
enough. It's to suck. It is. They're in the middle of a process right now, their own version of the process. I just don't know if they really intended to be this deep in a process. I thought they assumed that they were going to be a scrappy team. I think they were like, we're in the East. If we got Kuzma, if we got Poole, we got Tyus Jones, who people like as a fringe starter. I think that they probably thought they could be like the Chicago Bulls and just kind of be a 12-11 seed and be scrappy, but at the end of the day, do what they need to do and secure a lottery pick. But
the last 6 years, the Wizards have drafted 15th, 9th, 15th, 10th, and 8th.
Purgatory.
That sounds like the Raiders.
That's purgatory.
That sounds like the Raiders.
And the Panthers.
And the Kings.
Pretty much. And the Knicks.
Well, Kings got a couple lotteries mixed in there.
Well, they've won.
They got lucky.
Yeah, they've won. The Wizards just didn't win the lottery. Also, I'm looking at the players they picked.
Yeah, can you go down that list?
Okay, so in 20, should I go most recent or oldest to newest?
Most recent.
Most recent. Okay, so they had the 8 pick, but they traded up one spot to take Bilal Koulibaly.
Seems pretty good, actually.
Or Koulibaly, apparently, is how you pronounce it, according to the media guide. 10th pick, 2022, Johnny Davis.
Shout out Johnny Davis, Mr. Taco Bell. Can't get on the floor. Terrible.
Oh my God, that's right. He was in those weird Taco Bell commercials. Oh my God, that's a deep cut.
We need the Snoop Dogg who? We need the Snoop Dogg who meme for some of these guys.
Oh, I forgot about the Johnny Davis commercial.
It was
Anyways,
really bad.
2021 15 pick, Corey Kispert.
Okay. I mean, yeah. 15, he's an NBA player.
I think you can say that for all of these. 2021 9th pick, Denny Advia.
That was my guy.
Yeah.
He's
That's
played-
not a bad pick.
Been cooking
It's not a
He's
great
played
pick.
every game of his career.
That's something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
2019, Rui Hachimura, 9th pick.
See ya.
Yeah.
They actually
That one's tough.
Yeah.
Those are all players.
Right.
Not all of them, but most of them players.
And then 2018, Troy Brown, 15th pick. Look, that's
bad.
and then you look up, 6 years later, and all you have is Bradley Beal to show
Right,
for
and that's
it,
what I was
which-
going to. Yeah, the free agents. It's not like their free agent.
They
list
basically
is-
free agent list got them Porzingis because they traded Dinwiddie and Bertans, and those were both free agent signings.
On the sack chat from Jack, what's funny is the Wizards have championship experience with Kuzma and Poole. That's probably, hey, we got 2 champions coming.
That's crazy.
We have 2 champions coming. What could go wrong?
Wow.
Yeah,
not wrong.
They definitely didn't think they would be this bad.
No,
they thought they were
there's
going
no
to be
way.
a play-in
No,
team.
they
for sure.
I don't know about play-in team, but they
in the
They thought
East,
they'd be close. I think.
In
but
the
I don't think they
East?
thought they'd
I don't
make
think
it.
they'd be. They thought they were 4-21, and the
22. Put some
Four-
respect on their name. 4
with some respect on their L's.
Yeah, that's a good point. They've actually been kind of unlucky in some of these games this year, but they didn't think they'd be this bad. But they'll be better off for it in the long run. That they're
Yeah,
this bad.
I'm looking at the Eastern Conference now. The surprise, the Magic are the surprise. They're 16-9. The Cavs, I think, are going backwards.
They sure are.
So yeah, I guess you're right. Maybe they thought, fringe play-in.
They thought they would win 35 games this year. That's not going to happen.
Definitely not.
They might not win 20.
Yeah. All right. Got to get to a break. When we get back, how important are the next 3 games? Celtics, Suns, T-Wolves. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The push for the NFC's top seed continues on Christmas as the 49ers host the Baltimore Ravens.
Purdy throws for the end zone. It is caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers look to extend their win streak to 7 in a row as they host Lamar Jackson and the Ravens on Christmas night. Game time at 5:15 on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
This holiday season, Good Guys Heating and Cooling is turning up the warmth and spreading joy with our Toys for Tune-Ups promotion. Schedule your tune-up or troubleshooting appointment, and with a donation of a new unwrapped toy at the time of your service, we'll waive the fee. It's our way of giving back and making a difference in the lives of local children who might not have the Christmas that every child deserves. All toys will benefit Children's Hope, a wonderful local foster charity right here in Sacramento. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling at 530-GOOD-AIR to schedule your appointment, or book online at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Happy holidays from the Good Guys family. License number 1057-618.
It's credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
O'Reilly. The O'Reilly Auto Parts Holiday Gift Guide is here. If you're struggling with gift ideas, we have several options for gifts under $20, like a digital tire gauge, screwdriver sets, LED work lights, and more. Our professional parts people will help you pick out the perfect gift for that hard-to-buy-for person. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or shop O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Get ready for the Gin Blossoms at Gold Country Casino Resort. Get your tickets now at goldcountrycasino.com. The Gin Blossoms. January 13th at 8 p.m. Only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sacktown Sports. Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. as we talk all things Kings. Talked a little bit of Niners. Might get back into some Niners later on in the show with our Truck Smart Drive of the Week. And the Kings, the gauntlet that we've talked about for weeks now, it's finally here. Well, technically it's tomorrow, but it's finally here.
I don't know if I'm excited or scared.
I'm excited. And call in 916-339-1140 if you are going to be at any of the games because it's going to be electric in there.
Yeah.
You get the Celtics. You get Jason.
That's a lot of history.
Jaylen Brown, he's went to Cal.
Sure did.
Right? NorCal area guys. Yep. So Jaylen Brown.
Maybe is Tata back in the building too?
Yeah. You got
There's also that.
You got some guys,
Yeah.
and then you have the Suns. I think the Kings already played the Suns, and again, won't be the big three. But I think that'll be. But the last time the Kings played the Suns, there was no KD, right?
No
it was
KD.
only Devin Booker.
Yep.
So that will be a bit of a test.
No Bradley Beal on Friday either.
No Bradley Beal. And then on a back-to-back, you got the T-Wolves and the T-Wolves with bad intentions.
And Jaden McDaniels this time.
Yeah, right, exactly. And you have the Kings who gave the T-Wolves their first L at home. Now, one thing to remember, though, as we break all this down, I think we had talked about this as well, Chris. The Celtics, I'm trying to see the other teams as well. So the Celtics do have their own back-to-back.
Oh, love that.
Well, the Celtics are
tonight.
playing the Warriors tonight.
Yeah.
And then they have to play the Kings tomorrow. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. The Suns.
Real quick. How does that Celtics Warriors series still play? Like, did it feel like last year? Because they had
last
the
year
final
was
series.
electric.
Really?
But that was the year after, though.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That was the year right after, and that was the year I think where Steph Curry threw his mouthpiece again and got kicked out. But Jordan Poole, they ended up winning the game. Yeah, against, I believe that was either the Celtics or the Grizzlies. It was one of those big home games. But yeah, I was at the Celtics game. And
so it feels kind of to that Memphis level of like,
I don't know that it will now.
Okay.
I actually don't think it will. But last year,
there's some energy to it. Okay.
It definitely
That's good to hear.
did.
Oh.
So the Suns, they have a game tonight against the Blazers. So the Suns are going to be well rested. They have the Blazers tonight, the Blazers just played them tough last week, but they have the Blazers tonight, and then they do not play again, weirdly, until Friday.
Yeah, it's a long break.
That's a long break for the Suns.
Yeah, and I think the Kings last time had the rest advantage against the Suns as well. I think the Suns were coming off – I think both teams were coming off a back-to-back last time they played. So now Suns having that major rest advantage – it's going to be interesting. I mean, that's definitely it's a matchup you need to pay attention to when it comes to the divisional records of everything as well. It would do the Kings really well if that's the only win that they get of this 3-game stretch. That would definitely be the one to get, just because it does hold off a division opponent, and it also helps you feel good about playing that Suns team, which even though they haven't played like it, I still think they're one of the most dangerous teams in the Western Conference. Like when you're talking about teams that could actually put some fear in you if you're going to play them in a playoff series, like Suns are top 2, top 3 in the West, right?
Always. And right. What they're doing versus who they are, who they could be. Yeah. You got the Suns. I guess you still put the Warriors there, but you got the Suns, Warriors, and
different level.
Clippers.
Yeah. Clippers definitely. Clippers to me are the one.
I don't know what to do with the Lakers. I'll be honest with you. I have no clue what to do with the Lakers. Really, those two teams, if we're being completely honest, as of today, would be the Suns and the Clippers.
I would say so. Yeah.
That's it in terms of what they could be. So
Nuggets too.
Exactly. The Timberwolves have a game. They have a back-to-back, a weird back-to-back, actually, where they have the Sixers tomorrow in Philly.
Okay.
And then they fly back home to take on the Lakers.
Okay. I'm not certain about that.
So they go Wednesday, Thursday, and then they get a break, and then they play the Kings on Saturday. So they'll be kind of rested.
Interesting.
They get a day off.
Yeah. I mean, schedule's not going to be easy for you. That's for sure. I mean, so the Kings will be.
This makes me feel better.
The Kings will have bad rest advantage for both of those games.
This makes me feel better. The only team which I would probably say I probably feel the most confident about, even though Devin Booker did play them tough, is the team that will be the most rested in the Suns. The other two teams that we know the Celtics are rolling. We haven't seen them yet. They're coming off a back-to-back.
Right.
The T-Wolves will be coming off not a back-to-back, but a day removed from a weird hybrid traveling back-to-back. So you got to take advantage.
Travel in general for the T-Wolves, actually.
Now that I look at it like this, and the Kings get to just chill at home, you got to get 2. That's how from looking at that, I think you got to get 2.
Does we'll talk about it more tomorrow as the game is tomorrow, but does that Celtics matchup make you nervous? I mean, when we've talked a lot about this year about teams just flat out being bad matchups for the Kings that they just can't overcome no matter how well they play, seemingly. You're throwing them in that Clipper, in that, Pelican, that crop of teams.
Well, let's think of the Celtics makeup, though.
Yeah.
You have Jason Tatum and you have Jaylen Brown. It's really about those wing type rangy guys.
The Zion and BI example.
Exactly. So if you're looking at who the Celtics are putting out every single night, you have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Porzingis, who I think is struggling with something.
Yeah, he's always in and out of the lineup. Yeah.
Drew Holiday, who's your lockdown defender.
Yeah, De'Aaron hates going against him too.
Derek White, who's another lockdown defender. Al Horford, who is a vampire. He's just still hanging around.
It's a good matchup for Sabonis.
Yes, for sure. And then you have Peyton Pritchard. So,
depth might have to come to a factor there because, starting lineup, it's about as brutal as it gets. I mean, especially from the facing that defense perspective, the Kings being a high-powered offense who, again, we've talked about a lot. We still – just because the shots have started to fall, we've kind of gone away from the one-dimensional talk and if the Kings aren't hitting shots, how are they winning the game talk?
Yeah.
Wednesday does make me wonder, okay, if the Kings are, I assume they're probably not going to shoot 50% from the field and 40% from 3 in that game. How do they win that game? Can they win an ugly game?
Why do you assume that?
I mean, we just haven't seen it. Why do I assume they won't shoot that way?
Yeah.
It's just, the Celtics defensive level feels like, the Kings would have to just be on one that day. They would have to be clicking on all cylinders. I just think the Celtics, their first thing is going to be, don't let the Kings get into their rhythm and flow.
Run them off the line.
Run them off the line. be big as possible. This is a team that struggled with size and length all year long. Don't let Keegan Murray going. It'll be interesting to see Keegan going against a physical dude like Jaylen Brown. I assume they'll put Jaylen Brown on him so Tatum doesn't really have to run around and chase him all day. It's just going to be a tough. I mean, the Celtics, like you said, I mean, they're rolling right now. It's going to be a really, really tough game for them. I mean, the Kings at least do have the things working in their favor. The fact that the Celtics are the traveling team, and on the second night of a back-to-back, Kings are chilling since Monday. So they've got a lot of things working for them, but it just, I don't know, man. That Celtics team has been a brutal matchup for this Kings team. I'm talking like there's been a couple games where the Celtics have just destroyed the Kings by like 35+ points, and they don't have any answer for them. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that's kind of a big part of Keegan's development, right? Is okay. You're starting to shoot well now. Let's see how the Kings are stacking up now with a really good version of Keegan Murray. Does maybe those forward issues that they've been dealing with, are they, I won't say alleviated, because I don't think Keegan's just going to completely eliminate the problem, but are they lessened? And can the Kings, I think the point is, can the Kings give themselves a damn chance, because they have not had even a chance in some of those Pelicans games. And in those Clipper games too, it just felt like Kawhi and Paul George got whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted.
And an overused sports term, right? This is a measuring stick game for the Kings. Well, definitely a week, but this is just in terms of the East Coast team that, hey, you think you're finals worthy? This is a team that has much better odds than you to win the finals. Let's see what you do against them, albeit coming off a back-to-back. Whatever, don't get blown out, right? And this is a game where we were talking about Harrison Barnes, how he's been playing much better. He's been scoring the basketball. This is a game where if you're looking at Jaylen Brown locking up, Jason Tatum's no slouch on defense, Drew Holiday defensively, Derek White defensively, I'm screaming, this is the time, and I'm not going to make him my dog again, or maybe I'll break my rule. Kevin Huerter, can you get some shots up?
Are you there, Kevin?
We're looking for Kevin like it's Home Alone.
Yeah.
Okay, where have you been?
Yeah,
where have you been? This is a game where if I'm the Celtics, I'm going to sit there and say, we have to let Harrison Barnes do his thing and Kevin Huerter do his thing.
Yeah.
We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, technically they do, because they have a lot of defensive players, but based on their rotations,
yeah.
When the ball's swinging, the one guy who's probably going to be open is Kevin Huerter. And last night, I don't know, he didn't play poorly, but there's a lot of he's in the pick and roll. They're not going to. Maybe you can catch the Celtics off guard, but I feel like Kevin Huerter is a little bit lost right now in this offense. Not playing bad, rebounding the basketball for sure, but this is we pay you, not we, but Vivek pays you to shoot the basketball.
Sure does.
Okay, and I would say tomorrow night is a night to where you look at this lineup and who the Celtics are going to be keying in on. Kevin, you need to shoot the basketball.
Right. And I mean, when you talk about Celtics keying in on someone too, it's probably going to be a game where you can't look at De'Aaron and say, hey man,
take us to the promised
land. Can you save us?
Oh, no.
Because he's going to be like, bro, do you not see Drew
they're going to be on him.
I'm just trying to get 20 here.
With Jaylen Brown shadowing on him. There was a play yesterday. There was a play yesterday when Kevin Huerter got the ball in the normal rotation. You remember this? This was pretty early. This was when the Wizards were up in the beginning of the game. I think it was still the first quarter. There is a play where Kevin Huerter got the ball. He got the ball. He pump faked. The defender came out. I'm saying, Kevin, shoot the ball. He takes a dribble and tries to do a Steph Curry, James Harden step back, and did airball that?
Yeah, I do remember that.
What's going on, brother?
I also thought he traveled on that too.
It was also like the third worst shot the Kings took that night.
Last night?
Yeah, because remember Lyles had the air ball three-pointer too. Fox had that one bad one.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not putting De'Aaron in these conversations. Trey,
but they just the Jordan Poole was rubbing off on them.
Yeah, right. It's contagious. It's contagious. But yeah, Kevin Huerter tomorrow is definitely a game where he's gonna have to show up for sure.
Sounds like you're falling into your same
I'm
old
not
patterns.
doing it. I'm not going to do it.
Sounds like it.
I want somebody on the SAC chat or on the call or text line. They can take Kevin Huerter as a dog, but I won't do that because I want a beam. I want a Celtics beam tomorrow night.
Wait, oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. You said a Celtics beam, and I was like, wait, whoa.
A beam against the Celtics. Celtics beam sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
See, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard it is.
You're
I want the
overruled.
Celtics. I want the Celtics to light
What,
the
a
beam
green
tomorrow.
beam
Yeah,
out there
I'm
in
like,
Boston?
I don't.
No, I don't.
Oh,
want
that would be funny if we changed the color of the beam based on who we beat.
That's actually.
No, I don't.
That could be V2. That's V2.
Maybe in 10 years when we've gotten bored of this beam, maybe we'll change the colors and do that.
It's like when we're on that Celtics pack. It's very similar.
Yeah. And it's a little like, we killed these guys and we fly their colors.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Completely took over what you
You snatched their heart out their chest.
Yeah,
Now that you said it, the Kings would not do that. That'd be too disrespectful.
They definitely would not.
Think about how these NBA players take every little
Oh, yeah.
thing as slight.
No,
That
I would only allow it against the Clippers so Westbrook could lose his mind. You have to do it against
Y'all
Westbrook.
disrespecting my family.
And just
like
have
that.
bricks. Just have a beam of bricks. Just
That's
going
called a
up.
chimney.
Just have a chimney made out of bricks when you beat the Clippers. And if he's going to do Rockabye Baby, just a beam of bricks.
Someone
All right.
listening here, please Photoshop that.
Please
and just
do
send
it.
to us. Just
Please
a
do
beam
it.
of bricks for West.
Stiles and Watkins got to get to a break. When we get back, is Domas, the Montes Sabonis, underrated? Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sacktown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sacktown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-60.
Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Kings, Niners, so much to get into. But first, we want to get into this. Vieira Farms and Jiffy Lube have come together and teamed up with Sacktown Sports for the holiday season to get you hooked up with a $100 gift certificate towards your perfect Christmas tree and a $100 gift certificate to winterize your vehicle at participating Jiffy Lube locations. Hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now and be lucky caller number 3 to win those $100 gift certificates. That's 2, not 1, 2. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, visit sacktownsports.com. 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140.
$200 value.
$200 value. Kyle Ledbetter will take care of you behind the glass. Caller number 3 will get it done.
Alan, you got a preference between real and fake Christmas trees?
I like real.
Yeah.
I like real. We've
What
had
do you
to
do
go
for your
fake.
house?
We
Yeah.
we have fake
your-
because we're in a condo, so
Yeah,
we have
that's what I
fake, but
figured.
definitely like real. I know one time, what's it called when you put the fake snow on it? The name is escaping me.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know that there there was an official
and
name for pimping out your Christmas tree.
No,
with
it's
snow.
flocked. So
Flocked?
Yes. So
Okay.
we got a
Never heard
flocked
that.
tree. This was
like
probably
a pre. Okay, gotcha.
No, you buy the tree.
Uh-huh.
You buy the tree the same way you'd buy another tree, and then there's an option to flock it.
Oh, so it's not like a because I know you can buy like out the box.
No.
This
This is not what we have at home now.
Yeah.
This is when I was growing up. I was probably 16, something like that. And I said, hey, I want a flocked tree.
Sure.
Right. And you buy the tree, you go to a tree farm and you buy it. And then it's like an upgrade, right? It's like it's like getting real leather in your car or getting guacamole at Chipotle. You say, hey, I would like this flocked, right?
Yep.
And then you pay more and they flock it for you and you have a white Christmas.
It's not bad. The worst part about the real trees is the cleanup for sure. It's a lot,
of
pines all over the place.
That one was especially bad. On top of the fact that my dad let us know how expensive it was and let us know that we would never be getting that again.
I paid $300 for this tree, man. Ain't no one looking at
for some fake snow. Really?
How many times you look at this tree?
Yeah.
How many times?
It was cool though, and that was before Instagram too.
Yeah. You just had to enjoy it in real life, huh? You couldn't even share it.
But so I love a good. I love a real
the
tree.
smell of it, man.
This is just much easier. We're in a transition period,
sure.
but we will get back to the real trees. So obviously, you like a real tree.
I mean, who doesn't? I don't like the process of doing the real tree.
Have you ever cut a tree yourself?
Not like in my adult life, no. Like when I was a kid, we would go up to the woods and like cut it down ourselves. But it was like my dad would definitely get it started and then like, push this thing like 4 times. It'll fall.
So you got to get
back
to
a good time
that.
though. I mean, that's the best part about the getting the real Christmas tree is the like family activity of like going out there and picking out the tree, getting some hot chocolate and just kind of browsing and it just sets the tone.
You love hot chocolate, by the way.
I do enjoy it. When it's cold, I need some warm.
Every halftime, this guy
apple cider
has
or
a cup of hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Big hot chocolate guy.
It's just when it's cold because I don't drink coffee. I'm not a big like tea person either. So like when it's cold, I need something because my body temperature does not regulate.
Well, we're in the
at
igloo
all.
right now. Dave has us in Antarctica, so I had to turn off. And Dave is going to be upset when he comes in tomorrow, and he's probably going to turn it down.
Like 62 degrees.
Yeah, and he had the air on. The air was on. Yeah. I turned it off. So, I could just bring my tree in here and it'll get flocked based on how cold it is. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Appreciate
as we talk about Domas Sabonis and
Sabonis.
We're trying the text line. We saw someone on the text line, not a fan of the Domantas Sabonis, but trying to make it happen.
They're trying
to make it work. That's not my battle. And I will not fight it. But if I hear it, I'll join in. I'll join in. I got to forget sometimes when we're in the media section because I'll be cheering. I'll be doing the things, and you and Brendan and Frank are looking at me. Hey, we can't do that with media. I'm clapping along. Hey, Murray. Yeah, I'm like Alan, brother. Did that. King. Yeah, I'm like Murray. And the guy from the Wizards turns back and looks at me. I'm like, sorry, that's mine. I'm still getting used to this. I'm sorry. As we talk Domas Sabonis and what he has been doing, he's been rolling, man. And we have conversations. Is he underrated? Is he overrated?
Right.
And really can't have this
or guys
conversation.
like Chris Biederman who are like, hey, nothing matters except for the playoffs, which I get that too. But you also have a guy who throws up triple. It seems like so long ago, everybody used to care about triple doubles when it was Russell Westbrook and he averaged a triple double. Now, when Domantas Sabonis gets one, nobody seems to care. No,
it's not a big deal anymore.
No, I guess now Nikola Jokic ruined the triple double.
Well, Jokic ruined the triple double. When Giannis gets it, it's still a big deal. Do you think Sabonis is appreciated as much as he should be? And I guess not so much for Sacramento,
right?
But in the national media.
Definitely not. No, definitely not. I mean, he's just like a cute story to the national media, and I think everybody outside of Sacramento. I mean, I threw Biederman under the bus there just because he said it earlier.
We
today,
love you, Chris.
Yeah, we love Chris. So he can definitely take it. But I just I think there's a lot of people out there who do share the sentiment of it's fine, whatever, do whatever you want in the regular season. It's fine, but I just know the player that you are when push comes to shove, and they're gonna wait to change their opinion, which I don't blame them for, but at the same time, I don't think that you can properly criticize him then, because to me, like, again, I will always contest that just because you had a bad 7-game stretch doesn't mean I should discount the 82 games that you played before it. Like, yeah, that plays a factor into the evaluation, but at the end of the day, it shouldn't just completely discount everything that you do. And it feels like Sabonis has just been completely discounted from anything that he does in the regular season. It would take like him putting a 30, 20, and 10 performance together, I feel like, for somebody to truly say, wow, hold on, wait a second. What is this? What is this guy? And do we need to actually talk about him? Because, I mean, he had 27, 13, and 11 last night, and there was probably not even a remotely a post from, Sports Center, Bleacher Report, House of Highlights, all those overtime, whatever basketball is your favorite Instagram page. Like, none of them were saying anything about Domantas Sabonis in his game yesterday. So, yeah, I mean, I would definitely say he's underrated, underappreciated, but, it's also, to me, it's not that big of a deal, because if people want to wait for the playoffs, I just think it's just a matter of time then, because to me, I don't believe that, he's just some guy who's only a regular season merchant. Like, I don't see anything in his game that shouldn't translate to the playoffs. I just think last year was a really bad matchup, and that's the only time anyone's ever been able to watch it.
But that how you ended that is exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because it's bizarre to me. I look up a guy who is a hot name in these streets like Lauri Markkanen.
Sure.
I think if you were to ask a bunch of NBA fans that don't watch a ton of Kings basketball, they would say Lauri Markkanen is better than Sabonis.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point.
What's funny is Lauri Markkanen has never been to the playoffs, right? And I don't understand why. I don't know if it's how Sabonis plays. I don't know what it is, but it's really weird to me that somebody with less expectations has been so heavily scrutinized for his one playoff run that he helped get a team to.
And people overblow how poorly he played, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, what if I told you Sabonis in the playoffs last year, 16.5 points, 11 rebounds, 49% from the field, and 4.7 assists.
Right. And a lot of those passes were going to guys that weren't shooting as well as they had been.
And that's a
right.
huge part of that.
Kevin
as well.
Huerter struggling, right. Keegan Murray struggling. A lot of those were assists in the regular season. And I'm looking here thinking he's been on one playoff run. You just put out the numbers, and now the narrative is that he can't do what he needs to do in the playoffs, right? Meanwhile, you have guys that are supposedly better than Sabonis. I know it's a team game, that have never been to the playoffs.
Right.
And you have guys who are supposed to be better than Sabonis, who they tricked off many a playoffs. And they got, how many years did they get, right? Before anybody came down anybody's road. I mean, the Celtics themselves, they've been going and being bridesmaids forever.
Right.
The Celtics, the Bucks, right? Kevin Durant hasn't really done much since he left the Warriors. So it's just weird to me that they've just thrown this label on Domantas Sabonis after one playoff run.
And also, this is probably a little bit more of an excuse, but he also had never been in a playoff series with that level of responsibility before. Like, he had been to the playoffs before with OKC and Indiana in like a bench role, but he was not the focal point of a team's offense and had to deal with everything, because the Warriors, they did not game plan to slow down De'Aaron Fox. They might have wanted to. They did not game plan to slow down Malik Monk. They game planned completely to neutralize Domantas Sabonis and all the impact that he has around him. Like, if anybody is being the singular focus of a team's game plan, they're going to be affected by their play, especially when, Sabonis's game isn't relying on athleticism and things like that. He does kind of need to take advantage of matchups, but I don't know. Yeah, it feels like just the pendulum has swung way too far on Domantas Sabonis. Just wake me up when the playoffs start.
Yeah, I mean, look, and even guys, even who they made the trade for, Tyrese Halliburton, it's almost as if not doing anything is the same as a draft, right? And how they had Caleb Williams and Drake May above Brock Purdy, which was ridiculous. But it's almost as if we
haven't seen it yet,
we can assume that it's better than this guy that we saw, which is, it's absurd.
Great point. Right.
It's absurd. TC, we see Kyle's telling me we got to get to a break, but hang on, I will get to you, or we will get to you right after the break, TC, because I know you got some stuff, because we talked to Harrison Barnes and Domantas Sabonis, so I know you got some stuff that you want to say. We'll get to you right after break. We will be right back with more Kings talk. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
A handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles the man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
This holiday season, visit Boot Barn for top quality gifts that pay tribute to the lasting heritage of the West. From handcrafted cowboy boots and American-made felt hats to hand-stitched leather jackets, our in-store experts will help guide you as you shop, assisting with boot fitting and providing complimentary hat shaping. This holiday, share a piece of the American spirit. Boot Barn. Unwrap the West.
Sacktown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sacktown Sports. Subcontractors, grow your business with more leads and leverage your marketing costs to receive over 10 times the value in advertising. Subcontractors United is offering 40 home services contractors to join our advertising co-op. For under $2,100 a month, you'll share in over $83,000 a month in advertising. That's $1 million a year in advertising for under $2,100 a month. There's only 3 subcontractors per category, not 3,000, so lead potential is unlimited. Google Subcontractors United for more information.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you thought last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day, available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
0 down with approved credit.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sacktown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Talking Kings, talking Niners, talking Sabonis, talking underrated, overrated, properly rated. Said it at the top. I'll say it again. Umbrellas, overrated. I think I see the sun.
That's not what you said earlier. You said useless.
No, sorry, overrated. Umbrellas, overrated.
Yeah, you said they were useless, though.
Umbrellas, overrated.
Yeah, it's a trash take no matter what you said. It was garbage. Like I don't even know. Like I don't even understand how you could say they're overrated.
How
Like,
many
they're-
people you hold up the umbrella
Uh-huh.
and you're walking with somebody
Yep.
and you're trying to get huddled under the
Yeah.
umbrella. Your shoes are still wet.
Yeah.
The wind comes, it blows, it's inverted now.
You got to get one of those like
Just
how
get a
they have,
big
like,
jacket.
the like more overhanging umbrellas because they have like some.
Now,
that,
if you have
your
long
old
hair, maybe
traditional
you
one.
don't want to mess up your hair with
Yeah,
the hood
definitely.
or something like that. But
Just jumping in real quick because I was on the phone. You guys were talking about the real or the fake trees this year.
Mhm.
My grandma this year, for the first time in 53 years, is going to do the fake tree, which
Ah.
I think means that it's kind of becoming more culturally normal
Yeah.
at this point.
It's a pretty polarizing thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially for like, the older generation. It is kind of like, no, I'm not gonna. Oh no,
Yeah.
those things they're cheap and tacky, and
Right.
But also, she doesn't have to like put water in it or
Exactly.
like take care of a tree
And
for
then
days at a time.
do you guys
Absolutely, I feel
and then
that.
when you have the fake tree, or the real tree, you got to put the tree into that
Then, yeah, they have
holder,
to drop it into the
and
base
you got to
and
twist
screw
the
it.
thing. You
Yeah.
only use it once
You
a
gotta
year.
also make sure that the tree is
it's
straight.
crooked.
Yeah, it
then
gotta be leveled.
it's wet. So now, and you only use it once a year. So the screws are rusted.
Yeah.
Okay, and you're powering through the rust, and now your fingers hurt because it's cold.
And I know you're a cat guy too, Kyle. I think you're a cat guy too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
My cat likes to drink out of that water base too.
Oh yeah,
And
That's
it's just
totally
like-
fair.
It's a nightmare.
you got to drink out of the water base. Now you got
to.
to add more water.
Yeah.
that's interesting because this will be the first year of having a cat in the apartment. I wonder if the
Be
cat's going to
careful.
drink the sappy water.
Oh, it
that's
will.
Probably.
under
Yeah.
the tree.
It definitely
careful.
will.
It's good for them.
100%.
It's
No, it's not.
It's very good
There's
for
so
them.
much tree sap in there.
Yeah.
No, it's good for them.
hair on their
916-339-1140. Let's get out to TC, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, TC? You're on Stiles and Watkins. What you got for us?
And Stiles and Watkins, what's going on?
Not too much, man. Just hanging. What you got?
Man, just tapping in. Hey, so real quick, I got a few points. So as far as Sabonis and his respect, man, everybody got to respect Sabonis, and it's not about the disrespecting Sabonis. Like when me personally, when I get on Sabonis, it was, and I've been feeling it these last couple games in this winning streak we've been on. Him being more aggressive, shoot the ball, like. Just go, like, quit being so passive. I know that's in your nature. And if you notice in these last few games, he hasn't been doing that. He's been, like, going at people and getting hits. That's all it is with Domas. Everything else, Domas is good. And you have to respect Domas. And you gotta respect what you got in Domas. And, like, if he left or something, it'd be all bad. So I'm just saying, like, be more aggressive. Not so passive. You can pass the bonus, but, like, not all the time. Like, look in the past, like, go look the score as far as Sabonis. As far as HB, he had a cool game last night. I don't know if that was they were looking for him. His shot was falling, but it's sometimes when you're looking for HB, he's not hitting his shots. You get what I'm saying? So for me personally, HB's cool, but he's still not off. He's like still not off the trade table. You get what I'm saying? And I know you guys haven't probably looked at it or whatever. I'm looking at Bleachers, and it was like on the Kings page. And I seen like a crazy trade, but I seen people saying no. And I was like, what? I'll do this in a heartbeat. It was like HB, I don't talk to Toronto for OG. It was like HB and like 3 first-round picks. I know we don't have them, but it was like 26, 28, or 26. 20. Anyway, it was 3 first-round picks in HB. And people were like, I don't know if I do that. I'm like, are you crazy?
No, you got to do that. I don't see the Raptors doing that, but you got to do that if you're the Kings.
I'm pulling the trigger on that, and I'm taking a gamble on OG. And when OG gets to Sacramento and playing with this core, I guarantee you he's signing the contract. That's all I got.
No, thanks for the call, TC, as always. And we've been doing a lot of looking at these different trade machines and proposed trades, and we can try to find that one. But if it was just Harrison Barnes and a bunch of picks for OG, I don't know. And we haven't talked too much about mortgaging your future to win now, especially as a Kings fan for so many years like yourself.
Yeah.
I've always been of the mindset of when you hit and you have something, you got to go. I don't care about picks. I've seen too many teams miss.
OG is not going to go for that much. Like a player and 3 first-round picks is what DeJounte Murray went for. I don't think OG Anunoby is going to go for that.
But we're
much.
not dealing with a normal person here. We're dealing with Masai Ujiri, who would beg to differ. I don't know.
I don't think
know.
that's going to happen. That's just me.
If it's Harrison Barnes and 3 first-round picks, I'd do it.
I would probably do it. I mean, yeah, it just all ties into each other of, again, like if you're going to trade for OG, then you got to sign him, and then you're kind of locked in with OG, and you just got to believe that that's it. I mean, it's
I feel like you've changed your stance on OG.
I mean, it's more just.
So, by the way, before you answer that, he's got a player option.
He does have $19.9 million.
19.9. So he could.
He's probably going to turn down. Most people.
So he turns that down, and now this has just
down.
become a rental.
Yes.
Right.
And that's the fear.
He could walk.
That's
so
the
now
fear.
you lost Harrison Barnes, 3 picks.
Yeah. And you lose leverage in that negotiation as well, because if you trade for OG, well, OG holds all the cards. He's going to say, oh, you're not going to pay me what? Oh, you're trying to get a discount on? No, like you just traded for me. You're going to pay me what I want to be paid, because I'm not the one who's going to look a fool. I didn't just give up 3 first-round picks for myself.
So you're saying he turns it down, and he assumes
could
that
turn it down.
The Kings would cash him out more than someone else, because that's what TC is saying. Oh, well, once he gets here, that's always the gamble, right? Oh, well, once he gets here, we did the same thing with Ohtani before the Angels shut it down. Oh, well, if he plays with the Giants or plays with whoever, it's a rental, but he'll love it so much he'll stay. Is it worth that gamble? Because OG could say,
there's no way. No, if you're trading for him, you got to have the extension pretty much ready to go as well. Like you can't take
like
that
a verbal agreement with his agent or whoever.
He'll probably get somewhere in the $25 million range, give or take $3 million.
Which is Kuzma money, pretty much. Which
just get Kuzma.
You could argue that too. I mean, there's conversations to be had there for sure. I mean, you could definitely say maybe Washington would.
But what are they going to do with Harrison Barnes?
That's definitely the right question.
Maybe they get a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Tell Jordan Poole to put a suit on.
You could tell Jordan Poole to put a suit on, and that could.
There's worse things, but it's not. I mean, if you're trying to, up your rep, can't go much different than Kyle Kuzma, Jordan Poole led locker room to maybe like an HB Tyus Jones led locker room or something like that.
It's intriguing.
It's a lot better in terms of like, hey, like
we also
a stable environment. At least.
We also haven't seen Kyle Kuzma show up anywhere yet. Nowhere.
No, he puts up numbers though.
No, I mean in the trade.
Oh, you mean in
talks.
the trade talks? Yeah. Well, he can't be dealt until January.
Exactly.
Anyway,
maybe his name will pop up more, and that's why again.
Even Jeremy Grant too, same thing. Like
Jeremy,
I don't know what Portland's going to be doing, paying him.
Well, I know you don't want him.
No,
we've had this conversation. Okay, who would you rather? Whose contract?
Yeah,
makes
let's rank them.
Yeah, whose contract? I'm wondering if I should do this based on whose contract you hate more, or
Jeremy Grant's number 1. That contract's crazy.
But you have to take this person on the Kings.
Yeah,
Jeremy Grant or Donovan Mitchell.
Oh my gosh. I'll take Donovan Mitchell because at least you're paying for somebody who's at least like star quality.
I think
possibly at his best.
Yeah.
All NBA second team last year.
Yeah. He sure did put up those numbers.
You're taking Donovan? I did not expect that.
No, I didn't either. Let me tell you. I definitely
he draws the line at Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant.
Look, I cannot stress enough how insane Jeremy Grant's contract is, guys.
Yeah.
It is
$160
million for the next 5 years. For a guy who is like,
He's
people
a
were
Swiss Army
hoping he
knife.
would play the Harrison Barnes role in the Kings offense this year.
He's a Swiss Army knife.
He sure is.
What does that mean?
That's an expensive Swiss Army knife.
It is.
You can either get a nice little pocket one that, it's got nail filers and little scissors or something like that.
Yeah.
Or you can get like the, military grade. This can actually chop down a tree if you need to cut a rope in a life-saving situation. I don't know. I think I can still file my way out of there.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, the Kings are on their best 25-game start to a season since 04-05. We'll tell you why that's even more impressive than it sounds. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
The push for the NFC's top seed continues on Christmas as the 49ers host the Baltimore Ravens.
Purdy throws for the end zone. It is caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown! San Francisco!
The 49ers look to extend their win streak to 7 in a row as they host Lamar Jackson and the Ravens on Christmas night. Game time at 5:15 on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit KHTK.com.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is the best place to go all in and all out. Go all in at our table games, then go all out to win on the area's only 3-story indoor kart track. Or go all in for our famous award-winning buffet. Then go all out at our state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and beautiful resort hotel, you can go all in for fun and all out for comfort. We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
At Jim Boy's Tacos, you get a ho lot of flavor for under $10. Our classic #2 combo meal spreads cheer with a farm-dusted ground beef taco, scratch-made bean and cheese burrito, and a soft drink. So jingle on down to Jim Boy's or order online at participating locations. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Kyle Ledbetter doing his thing behind the glass. Shout out to Kyle. As we talk Kings, talked a little bit of Niners, a lot of Niners. We'll get back into the Niners a little bit as we hit the 1 o'clock hour. We'll also complain. 1:15, by the way. 1:15. You know, I don't love peer pressure. And I think I'm done. I'm done with fantasy football. I have gripes about fantasy football.
Okay.
And we're going to complain about fantasy football at 1:15. So if you want to be a part of that, please do text, call, Sack Chat in 916-339-1140, and we'll recap our dogs at 1:30 as well.
Do you believe, maybe we'll talk about it a little bit more when we're going to talk about it, but like, do you fall under the category of I don't care about your fantasy football team? It's like a really big.
What do you mean?
Like, a lot of people will just blanket say, like, I don't want to hear about you. Just not necessarily on radio, but I'm sure it definitely applies to radio as well, but just talking to a friend or maybe a friend of a friend.
Yeah, I agree. Because I'm just not into it like I'm just not into it like that.
Yeah.
And people want to be at, you know, a table or
it's
whatever.
also a very selfish conversation, right?
And they're
Where
like,
it's
dude, so-and-so wanted
understand.
to
Yeah.
offer this trade
Yeah.
for me, blah, blah, blah. Like,
Bro, I just need 3 touchdowns from Julio Jones tonight,
Right.
and then I'm going to yell at the TV every time A.J. Brown gets a catch.
But the other problem is that y'all are in so many leagues.
Yes.
You're like, well, in this league, I'm good, and in this league, I'm not.
Yeah.
And it's just ridiculous, and it's too much to keep up with. I don't know if this happened to you, but, you know, you're out you're talking with whoever, and they ask you what you do for work, and you tell them, and then because you tell them, now they definitely, hey, well, do you have any ideas of what I should do? Do I look like a fantasy football analyst? Go watch one of the ESPN
Matthew Berry
shows
or something.
Yeah, do I look like Matthew Berry? Get out of my face, man. What are we talking about? I know. I talk Kings and Niners.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how many projected fantasy. I'm in last in my own dang league.
Right.
What are you talking to me
There
for?
are people I haven't talked to in person in like 4 or 5 years from high school who will literally just ask me about their fantasy football questions because they know
that's
I'm
awesome.
the sports person.
I'm sure you love that.
I just don't want. Well, Kyle actually does love it. I'm sure.
yeah,
Kyle wants to do some homework.
No, I mean,
Kyle gets on his DVOA. Well, based on the DVOA,
I'm gonna have to sit out the fantasy football conversation because I'm on my way to winning 3 in a row this year.
well, good for you. Good for you, Kyle.
Hey, we'll get there. We'll get there.
No,
Let's save
I
it, let's
won't.
save
I'm out. We'll talk about that at 1:15.
4-time champion. Might retire.
Goodbye. Can we
Retire on top.
mute you from in here?
I'm going to mute myself. I'm not going to participate.
There you go. We'll talk fantasy football at 1:15. But let's talk Kings and their best start to a season since 04-05.
Man.
And the reason that this is even more impressive than it sounds is that De'Aaron Fox has missed 6 games.
Come on.
Keegan Murray has missed 4 games and had his ups and downs. Kevin Huerter and Barnes have struggled. In general, it really doesn't feel like they've been as good as they've actually been. And you've had back-to-backs. You can't beat the Pelicans. You can't beat the Rockets. And with all that being said, you're 16-9.
Yeah.
And we're talking about trades.
Come on.
Trade machine.
By the way, the last time in that 04-05 season, that was the last time the Kings won 50 games. So
wow. What did they end up doing? Refresh my memory.
Let's see here. In the 04-05 season, they lost in the Western Conference final. I'm sorry, in the Western Conference first round. I'm sorry, not the Western Conference finals. Big difference there. Lost in the first round. So
that wasn't the Spurs year, was it?
No, the Spurs year was
06.
05-06.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean one of the last seasons in which the Kings really had any sort of relevance. The season before the last season.
Well, the positive way to look at that, whatever they did in 04-05 is what happened in the past. The positive way to look at that
They lost
is that they made the
1-4
playoffs.
to the Sonics, by the way. 1-4 to the
So
Seattle Supersonics.
So they were the 4 seed?
The Kings were the 6 seed, actually. They were the 6
I
seed.
see
By
what
the
you're
way,
saying.
and that's another thing. Kings won 48 games last year. They were the 3 seed. And then, in this 04-05 season here, they won 50 games and were the 6 seed.
Wow.
So that tells you about just
West.
Traditionally how many wins you're going to have to collect if you want to be at the top of
The 1 seed that year would have been the Suns. I wonder how many games they won that year.
Let's see here.
Sorry to make you do research.
No, you're good. It's all right here.
yeah.
The 04-05 playoffs was the Suns over Grizzlies. 4-5.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, 1-8.
1-8. I just
Or 1-8, I'm
probably
sorry.
won 6. Way more games than the 1 seed Nuggets last year. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, the Kings are definitely rolling right now, even though it weirdly didn't feel like it, but it kind of did. And now they have this 3-game stretch where we're really going to see what they're made of. As far as takeaways so far this season, I think the biggest thing for me is that De'Aaron Fox, he was known as that clutch player, clutch player of the year, fourth quarter. It's De'Aaron's time. And now he's just shown it's not just about the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I'm just a really good player and I'm an MVP candidate. And one thing that Mike Brown has done, and this is on purpose as we look at these ridiculous MVP ladders every single week, De'Aaron Fox cannot buy his way onto one of these lists. Every time we sit in that pregame press conference, Coach Mike Brown always refers to De'Aaron Fox as an MVP candidate.
Yep.
Always as an MVP candidate because he is. And it does matter what people think because they vote on it. But eventually, if De'Aaron Fox continues to play at this level, and we can talk about Keegan and his growth, I think it goes in terms of the storylines. I think Sabonis is who we think he is. He's coming back from, not underperforming or not performing up to what everybody hoped that he would during the playoffs. But I think the 2 biggest stories for me, I'd even put maybe Malik 3, but I think the 2 biggest stories would be De'Aaron Fox's 3-point shooting, Keegan Murray's growth and Keegan Murray's jump. And then number 3, I might even put Malik.
I think I completely agree with that 100%. Like, yeah, De'Aaron's 3-point shooting and everything that it's unlocked and what it all means, the 30 points per game for him, the MVP, I think it's all linked to the fact that his 3-point shot is falling. Completely agree with that.
Lefty.
Andy's lefty.
Andy's a lefty.
Alan loves a good lefty. Yeah, and then Keegan's defensive growth to me is definitely the biggest development when it comes to the change over year from this team last year to this year. It's the defensive improvement in general, the fact that they go from 23 to, I think they're probably dropping after allowing 130 yesterday, but yeah, they're in the middle pack of NBA defensive ratings. I think a large part of that is because Keegan Murray has been so good at the point of attack. And then, Malik Monk, man, that consistency, that sixth man of the year race that he's in, which I've still got him at number 1 right now. If you're asking me, I definitely think those are the 3 biggest developments. And when we're talking why the Kings have been able to overcome all of those things you listed and still come out on top as better than they've been really in a really, really long time, it's those 3 factors I would say are 1, 2, and 3, 100%. So I think you nailed it. And I'm looking at NBA.com power ranking for what it is. They released one this morning.
Let's hear it.
This one's actually going to be good to hear. Kings only move up 1 spot, but they move up to number 8. And let's see here, their takeaways. Let's see if there's anything here. Kings have been a little bit worse than average defensively this season, but they're number 1 in defensive rebounding percentage, up from 6th last season.
Shout out Kevin Huerter.
Kings are 0-3 on second night of back-to-backs, having been outscored by an average of 23.3 points per game and having shot 28% from 3 in those 3 games. So as the Kings have a back-to-back coming up on Saturday, definitely something to monitor is specifically their 3-point shooting. And they shot well in their other 3 games last week and are one of 2 teams, the Celtics being the other, that when they shoot the league average from 3, they have not lost. The league average is 36.5%. So when the Kings hit a league average percentage from 3, they are undefeated. Them and the Celtics are the only other teams to do that. Another interesting thing to look out for tomorrow. Celtics are 9-0 in games where they shoot over 36.5%.
On the sack chat from Nicktown, don't feel confident the Kings can win tomorrow night versus the Celtics. Celtics are scary, Nicktown. They are scary. But the other way to look at this, and I will vow not to do this. If the Kings get their doors blown off tomorrow night, I won't come on here and I won't sit here and let
trade machine.
I'm always on the trade machine, but I won't let one game destroy everything that the Kings have been doing.
Yeah.
Now, if you drop all 3 or you go 1-2 and it's an ugly 1-2, we'll have that conversation. Yeah. But I'm not going to let one game. I hope it doesn't happen because I hope they're able to show up, and I'm not going to sit here. I mean, the Celtics, it's not like they won that. They lost. Who'd they lose to? The Pacers in the in-season tournament. Yeah. They're really good, but the Kings are really good. So I get it. It's a team that you haven't really seen as much because they're on the East Coast. They're playing at 4:00 our time and things like that. So I get it, but I would put this Kings team up against anybody, specifically in the regular season. Postseason, we're going to find out, and we have time to find out. But don't be worried, Nicktown. And even if they don't get it done, it's not over. They're still a good team, and they have 2 more games against high-level competitors that would be able to show who they are. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we will have our Truck Smart Drive of the Week and continuing to talk about the Kings and the Celtics tomorrow night. And what's going on tonight? The return of Ja Morant. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing.
That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sacktown Sports.
Sabonis in particular, and De'Aaron Fox and Keegan Murray, the rise of the Kings, the continued rise of the Kings. And here on the 916-339-1140, you want to be a part of the conversation. From the 916, hello, gentlemen. Can we get some love for Mike Brown on why the Kings are so successful now? Love you all and have a great day. Shout out to the 916. Yeah, I think we're
better
probably
at calling challenges, Mike.
Maybe it's just me in particular. I feel like I'm a little hard on Coach Mike Brown, and I think that I need texts like that to put things in perspective. No coach is perfect, but I think that we should still be in the honeymoon stage with the unanimous reigning coach of the year. And he gets these guys, and I've had this problem with just different, I guess, styles in general, right? I like a fiery guy. No pun intended. Yeah. Kyle is making me say that. No pun intended. I like a fiery guy. I like a guy to get thrown out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Coach Mike Brown, that's not him.
Yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
Right?
And he said other people tell him that too. I think it was his dad or somebody like that. And that's just not how he is. And people like me need to get used to that, understand that greatness can come in a lot of different ways, and understand that you can get a lot. Maybe it's just my flashbacks of the coaches that I've had and getting yelled at and things like that. And we know he can get there. Yes. He's got there with Malik and he's gotten there before. But in terms of the refs and things like that, he is one of those guys who I'm not going to waste my time complaining, outwardly to the refs or denigrating the refs or anything like that.
Yeah, to me, the thing that just I'm always constantly impressed with Mike Brown, and that's different than not just necessarily the coaches that the Kings have had in the past, but just coaches across every sport, is he does a great job. And Niners talk about this a lot. A couple of the Niners talk about this with Kyle Shanahan. Great job of treating them like people, just like humans. Like they're and Mike talked about it yesterday when talking about his reactions or his emotions on the sideline. Like, you're coaching grown men, you're coaching adults, you're coaching guys who have kids of their own, families of their own that they're taking care of. You don't need to yell at them on the most public stage possible at their place of work. Like, I think Mike said it perfectly yesterday. The time for screaming, yelling, cursing, all that's during practice. Like, that's shoot around. When the games come, you've done all your work. You're supposed to prep so that the games are easy. Games are supposed to be the easy thing. You really start blood, sweat, and tears in practice in the lead up to the game. And I think that's the thing that I'm just constantly impressed by, is the level of respect that he has from his guys. Like, we've seen, people who respect coaches but don't like them. We've seen people who like coaches but don't respect them. And I think Mike just has a really healthy balance of having a real human connection with these guys. I mean, you see it with him making fun of Keegan and his voice, and, poking jokes at De'Aaron and Malik all the time, but also having the comfort to yell at those guys. It's a really tough balance, because I think, especially when you're a player and you are a grown man and you're dealing with your own family, there's a lot of pride involved with that. And it's like, I'm not going to sit here and get yelled at. Who's this dude? I'm making more money than coaches. This franchise cares about me. They're going to fire him way before they fire me. But for him to be able to kind of garner the respect of these guys, to me, that's different. As a coach and as a man, it just feels like they all understand that he's going to yell at you, but it's going to be because he just wants to make you better. It's not like he's a disciplinarian for the sake of yelling. He's actually only trying to make you better. And I think everybody truly understands that. And I think the fact that it's so universal amongst all the players tells you that he truly does mean it when he says, I treat De'Aaron just like I treat Kessler Edwards and Jordan Ford. And there's really no difference.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important parts of being a coach and being a successful coach. I will say this, because we did talk about this as we're about to get into our Chuck Smart Drive of the Week. Yep. When he came out and he was asked the last time the Kings got their doors blown off, he referenced one of the years of the Kevin Durant Warriors. And he said, hey, we got blown out and that team went to a finals. I love you, Coach Mike Brown, but I'm not with that, because those guys were getting blown out
the other.
Because they were bored. Yeah. Okay. And the reason I say that is because I can give Mike Brown, and we can give Coach Mike Brown his flowers and still be critical of certain situations. And there is that fine line between, well, they're playing the game versus, well, did you have them prepared to play? Because they are grown men, right? They're getting paid a lot of money to play this game.
Sometimes more than Mike. Again.
More than Mike. So there is a line there. But let's say you don't show up and get to the T. Let's say you just get obliterated by the T-Wolves. I think that you're now 0-4 in back-to-backs. And I would say that, okay, here's the time to have the conversation. And whether it's me or whoever in the media room to say, hey, you said it's not a big deal, but we're at 0-4 now, and none of the games have been particularly close. Yeah. What's up? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't just talk your way out of this.
Not
Like,
this
you
one. Not this.
give-
We give you one more mulligan. Okay, you get a breakfast ball and a brunch ball, but after that, this one is going to have to. Yes, this is going to have to count against your score. Let's get into the Truck Smart Drive of the Week, brought to you by Truck Smart, your premium retailer and installer of trucks and SUV accessories for over 30 years. Your trucks, gonna love them.
Gonna love it. This music is great, Kyle. Good choice. This reminds me of like the NFL 2K5.
Kyle's kind of balling today.
Shout out this.
Thank you.
Let's start off, as we seemingly do every week, with the 49ers. And there was tons of plays to pick from. They were just lighting up that scoreboard in Arizona, and Brock's hometown was just absolutely on fire. But to me, the drive of the game, the throw of the game, the touchdown of the game was I can't. Did you call him a narrative buster? What did you call him?
Oh, the hater breaker.
Hater breaker.
Yeah, the
An
hater
absolute
breaker.
hater breaker throw from Brock Purdy, back left shoulder to Deebo Samuel, and of course we got to get our guys Greg Papa and Tim Ryan on the call. Here's how.
Second and 10. Purdy throws for the end zone. It is caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown! San Francisco.
Debo, different level, back shoulder adjustment, the ability to do that. That's where this offense is different. Purdy trusts his guys.
What a nuts throw. Just an absolute insane, that's elite. Like that is exactly the throw where it's like, okay, if you're an elite quarterback, can you make a 20-plus yard back shoulder throw to the pylon of the end zone, the front pylon of the end zone where only your guy can get it? Placed it perfectly. Debo, who, I thought Debo's not even really a receiver like that. And Debo he's
a running back.
Made one heck of an effort to get that ball. That is the 49ers nominee for your Truck Smart Drive of the Week. We're going to go into yesterday's game where, oh my goodness, we were watching the Kings Wizards game, so we didn't get to watch all of it, but you better believe that fourth quarter, it was around halftime, and everybody was circled around the TVs to see this one. Drew Lock, who would have thought that Drew Lock would lead the Seahawks on a game-winning touchdown drive, capitalized by this ridiculous fingertip catch from rookie Jackson Smith and Jigba. Here's how it sounded.
Block from the shotgun. JSN is wide to the far side. Drew looks, throws that way. Got JSN. He reaches up, makes the catch. Touchdown! Seahawks! Holy catfish! What a throw by Drew Lock. What an over-the-shoulder catch by Jackson Smith and Jigba. 29 yards out. His third touchdown reception. And with 28 seconds left, the Seahawks lead 19-17.
Holy catfish indeed, Batman. Wow, what a catch that was. And I'm assuming that's from the Seahawks radio network.
I would hope it's not the Eagles radio network.
I was going to shout out our sister station, Bonneville Seattle Sports.
There you go.
I assume had that call. So shout out them, and shout out the Seahawks for helping out the 49ers.
And Drew Lock.
The
Lock is hot.
Yeah, how about that?
So if he's the starter now, would their quarterback room be called Locksmith?
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It would be called Mid-Smith.
But best vibes in the league.
Best vibes.
Did you see him putting on the coat? Oh,
Put that bleep on.
Yeah, and is that supposed to be like a Hall of Fame jacket they're putting on, or what?
I don't know.
I don't know, but it's
a code of business.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was cute.
It was definitely, that's the right
maybe
word.
Maybe best vibes of any quarterback room in the league.
Probably.
Speaking of vibes, I mean, Miami is known for vibes, and their vibe is just straight offense and explosive plays. Tyreek Hill has been a little busted up these last couple weeks. Didn't matter. Here's still an explosive play out of that Miami offense. Here's a 60-yard touchdown to Jalen Waddle.
Under center. Back to throw. Looking deep down the left sideline. He wants Waddle. He's got it. Touchdown, Miami. There's a new cheetah in town.
Oh, well, okay, now, Buster, you better watch out.
Okay, Joe Rose.
Yeah, there's a penguin in town.
I'm going number 2.
I think I got to go number 2 as well, because it feels like, it's Niner adjacent. They helped the Niners out, and, the Seahawks, it was not how many people had the Seahawks winning yesterday, especially with Drew Lock under center. I mean, that's That's an incredible win, not just for the Seahawks, but also for the Niners as well. So feels like if you're going to double dip there, it's a good way to go.
If
we're going
I
to give it
could
to a Seahawks.
make the case for number 3, that
Sure.
touchdown did make the owner do the little waddle dance in the box, which I thought was kind of funny. But yeah, 2 was probably the best. I think the best Niner one was the one where McCaffrey caught it, fell down, and got up. Right? That was pretty fun. Which I think they said was like the 10th largest separation of any play all season by any receiver or running back.
See, but and a hater would say, look how open Christian McCaffrey is, but that spin out of about to be sacked by Brock, that play doesn't happen if he gets sacked.
I hate to say it too, but I've seen Jimmy G miss that throw a lot.
Yeah.
7 out of 10
Shouldn't
times
have that
Jimmy's
popcorn.
missing that. So.
Yeah. Jackson Smith and Jigba, I think, is our winner.
Yeah, let's
There
play
you
it again.
go. Let's hear it again.
Truck Smart Drive of the Week.
Block from the shotgun. JSN is wide to the far side. Drew looks, throws that way. Got JSN. He reaches up, makes the catch. Touchdown! Seahawks! Holy catfish! What a throw by Drew Lock. What an over-the-shoulder catch by Jackson Smith and Jigba. 29 yards out. His 3rd touchdown reception. And with 28 seconds left, the Seahawks lead 19-17.
Shout out Catfish.
There you go. That was your Truck Smart Drive of the Week. Shout out Catfishes. Brought to you by Truck Smart, your premium retailer and installer of truck and SUV accessories for over 30 years. Your truck's gonna love them. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we're going to complain about fantasy football. This is the one time we'll give you all season long or all year long to complain about fantasy football. We're also talking Ja Morant's return. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Holy catfish!
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hey, it's Juice and Mo. Make this Christmas unforgettable by shopping at our friends Sharif Jewelers.
Do you even remember what you got last Christmas?
No.
Well, you got to make this one memorable.
Okay.
Make sure to go into Sharif Jewelers. You can get diamond studs, tennis bracelets. There's so many classic, timeless pieces that can be worn every single day. Available in both lab-grown and natural mined.
In so many different price points. So don't go anywhere else this holiday season. Support a local, family-owned business rooted in Sacramento for 30 years. Sharif Jewelers.
Sacramento has a new tag team in the midday. It's Stiles and Watkins on Sacktown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. And if you wanted an opportunity to complain about fantasy football, now is your chance. Or not complain, you can boast. We'll just call this a fantasy football segment. You can, and Kyle, so we can invite you back in. I know
Please,
you said you
Kyle,
wouldn't be a part of this, but you can definitely
Okay.
be reluctantly.
I'll brag about how good I am at fantasy football. Fine.
You go first then, Kyle. Tell us how good you are and tell us
When did you start?
What position you are in fantasy football. This is the one time. This is the one time we will talk fantasy football on this show.
Okay, so I've been playing fantasy football since I was a kid, but, relatively recently. I am in our main league with some friends from high school. 2019 champion. 2021 champion.
How many people are in this league?
10.
Okay.
And only like 2 of them are bad at setting their lineups.
Okay.
I would be in that category.
Okay. 2019 champion. 2018 champion. The year that I got Patrick Mahomes in his first MVP season and Tyreek Hill that year.
Okay.
So 2018 champion, 2021 champion, 2022 champion. We redraft every year, so you get the last pick. I got the last pick this year because I won the championship the year before. With the last pick, I'm in first place, and I scored 200 points more than anyone else in the league in the regular season. So I have the number 1 seed. Our playoffs start this week. And the fun part is I am playing my brother in the first round of the playoff. So that will be fun, but I'm probably going to win because my team is amazing.
So do you think you're like a guru, or
so do you think you're better than us?
Do you think you've just been getting lucky?
I have figured out
think?
a small equation. One, just put whatever they say projected points are. You might get it wrong if you're making lineup decisions. Just put whatever they say the projected points is, because they know more than you do at fantasy football. Number 2, all 3 years I've won the championship, I have had Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback. And this year I have Patrick Mahomes again as my quarterback. So draft Patrick Mahomes. It's good value every time.
Yeah, so good for you, Kyle. That'll be all. I'm kidding. But now, see, this is the problem. I start out hot. My issue is once we get to the buys, that's when things start to go haywire for me. And
the roster management.
It's the roster management.
Okay.
Because I was 6-0.
Yeah,
and
you're drafting sick.
I'm drafting fire. Yeah. And Justin Jefferson goes down. And here's the thing. This is what was bizarre. So, I don't play this very often. I got peer pressured into it. I said, fine, I'll play. I thought, I got the baby. There's a lot going on. I thought I had turned off auto draft. And I didn't.
Yeah.
So first they took Justin Jefferson.
Not terrible.
And then he gets injured, which you couldn't. It was either him or CMC. Next time around, I get Jalen Hurts, who just decided to just turn back into a pumpkin. And after that, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Right. I should have just left it on auto draft because I didn't know what I was doing.
Auto draft.
I start out hot. I'm talking trash. Yeah. Right. I'm feeling good.
So I don't even do this. That's crazy.
I'm like, dang, y'all were talking about me because I had the first pick in the draft. And I'm thinking, dang, y'all had a lot to say. And now look at your boy. And I don't even respond in the messages anymore. I'm done. And I'm not playing. I've decided I'm not playing it anymore.
Let me tell you, the worst part about fantasy football is definitely being a commissioner. It's the absolute worst. You have to get everybody lined up, and then everybody's got complaints, and then lining up the draft day and collecting money from people.
That's the worst.
It's just a nightmare. It's just an overall nightmare. And unless you're in a league in which it is like a really good grouping of friends, Kyle said he's got a group of high school friends. I've got a group of high school friends. I'm in one with, my sister and all her friends and stuff like that. It's you really have to like those people because by the end of the year you're gonna hate them all individually for different reasons. And it's fun. Fantasy football is great. I think it's definitely sneaky, a huge reason why football is so popular in the world right now. I mean, not just in America, which is definitely the number one sport, but fantasy football is a huge reason why people care about football so much in total, not just like baseball where people care about their teams and don't really know much about anything else. But I don't know. I've definitely, every year I wrestle with how many teams I'm going to have this year. And, it's also, the playoff system is very flawed. It's like, I have a great team all year. I've never been you'll be like Kyle and you'll have 200 more points than everybody else all year. You'll lose 1 week and then it's over. And then you lose week 1 because you had one bad week. And it's like, well, this is a pretty stupid thing. So I try and incentivize, in my leagues, Kyle will get paid out for having the most points at the end of the season. I only have the championship as it's a prize. It's maybe $100 to $200, but to me, it's a lot more impressive to be good. Again, like I say during the playoffs and regular season for basketball guys, I'd much rather have my team be good over 14 weeks than I get lucky 3 weeks in a row.
So our friend Simone, their league that they do with some of her friends, they have an interesting tactic where the person who has the most points at the end of the week gets a payout from the person who had the fewest points at the end of the week. So it's just an interesting way to kind of keep people engaged week to week, which I think is an interesting idea. I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, so there is a system. There's something like that to where you can win a little bit of money each week or a little bit of something each week. And really, this is the only one that I'll play, right? So the most fun league that I was ever in, and you can do this for football too. It's a league, but it's a daily. This is the only league. This is the only thing I'm joining from now on, because you don't got to worry about it. You get injuries, sure, but there's no roster construction. So it's a league, but let's say the three of us are in a league, right? It's a daily fantasy league,
right?
Yeah. So we're in a league, and every Sunday we pick our lineups. And you win that week, and then whoever has the most wins at the end is the winner. That's the only thing I'm doing now. I did it for baseball. A lot of fun. A lot of fun. You don't got to worry about, he took this guy, he took that. No, we all want to take Chris McCaffrey. We can all take Chris McCaffrey because it's going to even out because somebody you only have a certain allotted money, or you have a salary range each week, and when you run out of money, by the end, you're taking, okay, I need to take Zay Jones or whoever. Sorry, Zay Jones is actually pretty good. Somebody else, right, that you really, Slayton or somebody on the Giants.
Yeah.
Exactly, somebody like that.
By the way, just for anyone who does fantasy football, for your own personal enjoyment, don't pick players on bad teams.
No.
Just
bad quarterbacks and bad teams.
That's what the NFL wants you to do.
But
so you'll watch.
Your team will be good if you pick players on teams that you have a pretty decent idea are going to be good. Like the only one that I broke the rule on that was DJ Moore, and that was just because he was on a new team. Like take players on new teams and take players on good teams, because it's not going to be fun, and you're going to be disappointed when Jamar Chase has more yards than the 4 highest receiving Giants for the entire season. Like, just that's a real stat, by the way. Just do that. Take players on good teams.
There you go. Is there anybody else? Is there no one? That's it.
Seeing some love for the daily fantasy sports on the chat.
I'm telling you.
They're with you.
Life is hard, man.
I was not a big fan of it.
And then Thursday comes and I'm, oh my goodness, and I forgot to do something and somebody's out. Then I got to go on the waiver wire and it's some dudes that I never heard of. And I'm the one, hey, you want to make a trade? And nobody wants to trade. I'm thinking, now I got to pick up just guys I've never even heard of.
If you want to trade, you have to spend like hours working with people on figuring out a trade, because every trade starts off with, I will give you these 3 bench players for Justin Jefferson.
And then
you have to work your way back.
Then it affects how they're right. You know, when I would never hit up these athletes, but it does. I'm thinking, man, Gabe Davis, can you do something? What is it exactly that you do here?
Yeah.
I've been burned by him 2 years in a row now. 2 years in a row on Gabe Davis. This year, I actively traded for him, which stinks, but whatever.
I thought he was going to be a guy.
Yeah. Tony Pollard got me this year. Got me bad.
Yeah.
I took Tony Pollard in like 4 leagues.
Right idea. Just good process, bad results.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Good process, bad results.
There you go. All right. And that concludes our fantasy.
The purge is over.
Football talk. I think we all feel much better about it. I know I do. Kyle got to gloat a little bit. I got to complain, as I love to complain. I wish I could Yelp about fantasy. Can I do that? About the rules?
Sure.
I'll tell you off air.
Gotta get to a break. When we get back, we are recapping the dog segment and who is going to ball out during this 3-game series or this 3-game stretch. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
and the host of the True Sports Card Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
We can be heroes.
You've seen Cody Lee not once, but twice on America's Got Talent. And now is your chance to see him live at Gold Country Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see America's Got Talent winner, Cody Lee, January 20th at 8 p.m. Only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
This show is open to all ages.
Discover your dream home at Subcontractors United, your source for all home improvement needs. A talented team of home services experts is ready to make your projects a breeze. No more endless internet searches. Find your contractors in one place. Enjoy stress-free service absolutely free, with no hidden costs and no account to set up. Transform your living space into something extraordinary. Visit Subcontractors United today and experience the joy of hassle-free home improvement. Dream big at subcontractorsunited.com.
People who come to Cricket stay with Cricket, just like our customer, Jaron.
I'm the singer and guitarist in a band, and I use my Cricket phone for everything. It's basically like another band member.
Don't miss a single beat. Switch today and get a free Samsung Galaxy A14 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Real customer paid for testimonial must bring your number to Cricket on up to a $60 a month voice plan depending on device. Select models only while supplies last. First month service charge and tax due at sale. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Fees, terms, and restrictions apply. See store for details.
It's Credit Christmas at Prestigio Jewelers. Get the gifts you want this year. Prestigio guarantees your credit up to $10,000. It's easy. Have a valid ID, proof of income, and be 18 or older. Prestigio has competitive pricing on all jewelry such as gold chains, wedding sets, diamond earrings, and designer brands like Cartier, Gucci, Bulova, and Citizen. Rebuild your credit, even with a repo or a bankruptcy at Prestigio Jewelers. This Christmas, come for the credit and be amazed by the selection at Prestigio Jewelers. Online at prestigiojewelers.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Live and local, it's Stiles and Watkins. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports, taking up to 2 p.m. If you missed our last segment, you missed the one opportunity you had to talk fantasy football on this show. We'll do it once a year, and it is come and gone. And if you did miss that segment, you missed learning that Kyle Ledbetter, our producer, is the best fantasy football GM in the history of fantasy.
But we're not talking about that anymore.
But you'll have to listen back on YouTube as you can hear the whole show of Stiles and Watkins. And thank you again to Chris Biederman, who joined us at 11 a.m. as we talked Niners and Kings with Chris. Let's go over our dogs. And I know I'm serious this time.
Okay.
And I want to
sure?
apologize. Not that he had a bad game, but I do want to apologize because I picked Kevin Huerter, and he didn't have a bad game. Maybe it doesn't matter when the Kings win. Maybe I can't pick Kevin Huerter after he doesn't play great and they lose. How about that?
I just think you should quit Kevin Huerter cold turkey and just let him.
But I want to be right one of these days.
Yeah,
and when he gets a 30 burger,
you want to be with him as he's on the road to recovery.
Because I'm not going to pick him tomorrow, and then he's going to go off.
That's fine. And that's okay. That's better for Kevin. It's okay. You need to be a little selfless in these situations. And again, I know you want to be there for Kev as he's going through this tough time, but sometimes you got to let this man go through this journey by himself and come out on the other side. So
Kevin Huerter.
I hope you're done picking Kevin, because it's clearly not doing.
I'm done for now.
Favors.
Well, it's in January. It's a new year. It's a new year. January. It's a new year.
Yeah, new year, new Kev.
Who did you have?
I had some Keegan Murray guy. He finished with 25 points.
Yeah, he's rolling.
Had a good little fourth quarter. I think he had 15 in the second half. I don't know. Maybe it's because he just scored 47, but it didn't quite feel like, maybe it was because a good handful of those points did come at the end of the game. But I don't know. I don't think Keegan had the biggest impact in last night's game. Felt Sabonis and Fox a little bit more. I don't know. I'm trying to. I feel bad. It doesn't feel like a dog performance from Keegan. Though the stats were there.
Maybe your expectations are changing a little bit.
Maybe.
Right. I think Keegan. Right. If you were to say, oh, Keegan is at 25 and whatever he did, I think if you were to say at the beginning of the season, you'd be really happy with it. And again, if that's the case, you can say he didn't get to dog level for you, because they're going to need him. They're going to need all hands on deck these next 3 games.
Yeah. Every dog they got, every single dog they got is going to be required for this little trip, or this little, not trip. They're actually staying home. This little stand here. It's going to be interesting. I'm already thinking about the dog that I'm going to pick for tomorrow, because again, that Celtics lineup is it's brutal, man. I mean, and when you think about where the Kings have an advantage against the Celtics, it's hard to find. It's hard to find. Might have to be a big bench game.
I was going to say bench scoring.
Yeah. That's probably going to be it, right? It's probably going to have to be Sasha, going to have to be Trey, definitely going to have to get something out of Malik, because kind of feels like at best, the starters kind of cancel each other out. Maybe even, I would probably say more people are going to give the advantage to the Celtics starters. You start listing the Celtics bench guys, and you quickly get to Peyton Pritchards of the world and, Sam Hausers and things like that. And it's like, okay, the Kings maybe might have the 6 through 9-man advantage instead of the 1 through 4.
You're saying Walmart, Gordon Hayward, Sam Hauser is not as good as the Kings bench?
I'm just hoping to see a Cornet.
Peyton Pritchard's not even as good as TJ McConnell.
Yeah, Pritchard's not been that good this year. They paid him in the offseason.
Well, he said he did. The Celtics have had this weird thing where they have guys say, I'm leaving if you don't give me a bigger role, right? And I think Pritchard was one of those guys, and they said, okay. And they just kind of paid him.
And then they traded everyone else except Pritchard.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Very strange. Very strange. And he has not lived up to it.
No, he really hasn't. Jaylen Brown, does he have a left hand yet?
I don't think so. I haven't seen a meme in a while.
Make him go left.
Is it because the Celtics are winning so much?
Probably. I mean, you haven't heard anything about. Remember when Joe Mazzulla was the worst coach in the world last year?
Oh, that's right. Remember
I literally haven't heard a word about any Joe Mazzulla displeasure going on in Boston. So I don't know. Maybe everything's not so bad when you're winning games.
Yeah, when you're winning games, and they're another team very similar to the Niners. They are going to be, their season all matters once the playoffs start. Yeah. Obviously, they want to put themselves in a good position. But this is about the postseason. Same with the Bucks.
Yeah.
And we believe they'll finally get that collision course. But who knows? The East has been crazy. I feel like this is the year the Heat won't be able to pull off some wizardry. But
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Jaime Jaquez is looking good these days.
He is.
Come on.
He is. But the Heat are, they're right where they were, I guess, last season.
Yeah, they're right where they want to be.
Jimmy Butler doesn't care until about February 26th.
Sure
you think Adam Silver is just sick of this? You think he's sick of this with the Heat? Come on, man. You guys keep beating these big teams and then not doing anything in the finals. Can you just stop it already?
I mean, I think the Heat are doing exactly what they need to do to put themselves in the best situation at the end of the season. I think with like Jimmy and with, Kyle Lowry. And I mean, they're still playing Kevin Love tons of minutes,
which is insane.
They kind of need to just get the car to the race. And then it's like, okay, once the race goes, we feel confident, but it's making sure that the wheels don't fall off before then. You got to make sure Jimmy's healthy. You got to make sure Bam is healthy and engaged as well. It's about getting Miami to the playoffs first and foremost. We can't forget they almost got eliminated in the play-in last year. So this is kind of what they do, and then they're just able to kind of turn it on. But who knows? Maybe like you said, maybe this won't be the year. At some point, when you play with fire like that, at some point you're going to get burned, right?
By the way, your boy has been connected to the Miami Heat, Donovan Mitchell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, kind of makes sense. Like, when you think about if he's looking at New York as his biggest option, like if you're going to be a team and not be the New York Knicks and try and be in on Donovan Mitchell, you better have some sort of star power or a good city that he can live in, a big city that he can live in. And, the Miami situation is probably a better one for him. I think he wants to go to the Knicks for all of the fame and the glory of being a Knick and, bringing that team to success, what it would mean for his star power. But I mean, if he wants to win games, I hate to do Pat Riley's job for him, but Pat Riley's just going to do what he did with LeBron and throw the rings on the table and say, what are we playing for here? Because if you're trying to win, then come over here where we were the 8 seed last year and made the finals. Imagine what we could do with you. You really want to go to the Knicks? Like those guys were throwing a parade because they beat the Cavs in the first round and then got whopped by us. Like,
Yeah, but I think very similar to that troubled person that you're dating because you think that they have potential. Everybody thinks that they can save them. And I think that Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson, I know his dad is over there coaching, feel like they can be the person. They can be, we can be the team to do it, and we'll take over the basketball world. Yeah. And also, speaking of Jalen Brunson, we talked random 50 burgers yesterday and didn't even mention Jalen Brunson. The same way we saw Keegan Murray do what he did, right, and score those 47 points. You see a guy like Jalen Brunson and what he did and how, honestly, who's better right now, Kyrie or Jalen Brunson?
Kyrie.
As an individual talent, Kyrie, but
still?
Yeah, Kyrie's going to maybe he might not make the All-Star team in the West.
Yeah, I don't know about like a 5-on-5 basketball player, maybe Jalen Brunson, but I'm also not a huge Jalen Brunson guy. I still can't believe that he's as good as he is. Like, not even like in a disrespectful way, just lefty. Like he is so much better than I would have ever anticipated him possibly being. Shout out him. So I'm not the right person to ask that question.
But, you see a guy like Jalen Brunson, he's 27 years old. He's playing for the New York Knickerbockers.
Yes.
And he scores a 50 burger. Do you look this? It's funny because obviously we are in the Kings media. We are Kings fans, and we're seeing what Keegan Murray did, and that's changing how we view Keegan Murray. And Keegan Murray is what,
25 or 24 now?
24, 25. Jalen Brunson's 27. Jalen Brunson can drop 50, and I'm going to assume, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't make you look at Jalen Brunson any differently.
No, not completely, but it does like kind of confirm things for me at that point where it's like, I mean, not that his it's been a year and a half or 2 year long, anomaly at this point, but it feels like, I mean, with him scoring 50, like that's, though we did read a bunch of random 50-point scores, to me, it is a little bit of validation of like, no, this dude is a legitimate bucket because, he does not get enough credit for being a part of that Dallas team that went to the Western Conference Finals. He was a huge piece of that. He brought the Knicks. I mean, we talk about Donovan Mitchell wanting to bring the Knicks to prominence. Knicks were a 5 seed last year, like, and won a playoff series. Like that's massive for that city. Jaylen Brown was their best player, I would say. And the fact that he's got a 50-point game to me is just, it's validation that he's legitimate. I can't believe it. Again, like he's a dude who we want to talk about some of the shorter guys in this league.
6'2" he's listed as.
6'2" is what he's listed as. Doesn't have a crazy wingspan. I would actually guess he has a negative wingspan.
He ain't jumping out the gym like Donovan Mitchell or somebody.
When I think of Jalen Brunson, I'm not thinking like knockdown shooter either. He can obviously hit some threes, and I think he was like 11 of 11 or something nuts from three in that 50-point game. But, it's just, he's just a baller, man. Like he's just a dude that, again, when you say Kyrie versus Jalen Brunson as an individual talent, like, I don't know if you're going to watch him as a scout and say, if they're just doing cone drills or something, I don't know if you're ever going to be like, that dude's got something special. But in a 5-on-5 basketball environment, it feels like, as a point guard, as a floor general, I don't know how many guys in the league, with the exception of, the special talents out there, I don't know how many guys that you would really take him over. There's probably a list of like 5 to 7 guys. And then after that, it gets kind of crazy to say you wouldn't take Jalen Brunson.
Well, and that's why Gilbert Arenas on his podcast had said Jalen Brunson doesn't have that elite name, so we look at him a little bit differently because he doesn't have that AAU name coming up the same way Kyrie or somebody like that did. So, yeah, I mean, 50 burgers and high 47s. A Cam Thomas, he has 41. Does that make you look at him any differently? I think, again, Jalen Brunson, if you said, he had however many threes, right?
Right.
Jalen Brunson's not going to shoot like that. Yeah. That's not really his calling card. He can continue to evolve. But when you look at Keegan Murray and you're kind of looking at the future of Keegan Murray, you're thinking, okay, this is all repeatable because very similar to when Klay Thompson did his thing, it's all within the offense. It's not, hey, let's get out the way and let him cook, and things like that. And for Jalen Brunson, to your point, athletically, he is a guy who, if you were to say, hey, what does he do really well? It's not as easy to say with some of these other guys in the league. So not to compare, it's just a matter of when somebody has a ridiculous night, how much
stock should you give it?
Take away from it. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, I don't know if he's coming through. I don't know if he's sick. I don't know. But we have the drive guys for Crosstalk, Whitey Gleason and Kyle Draper, talking the Seagulls or the Eagles or the Beagles. Stiles and Watkins, Sacktown Sports.
Holy catfish!
It's the best team in the AFC versus the best team in the NFC on Christmas in San Francisco.
Murray back. Murray time throws. Intercepted! Charvarius Ward running back the other way. He's gone.
The 11-3 Baltimore Ravens bring their talent out west to face the 11-3 San Francisco 49ers. Game time at 5:15 Christmas night on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin, ultra soft on the party. Let's just so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The cream is always soft. It's our party wine. Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, the family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's Holiday Home Sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Amazon will be delivering packages to your house.
Let Amazon deliver customers to your business? If that sounds good and you want more in 2024, simply text DIGITAL to 916-766-5105.
At Jim Boy's Tacos, you get a ho lot of flavor for under $10. Our classic #2 combo meal spreads cheer with a farm-dusted ground beef taco, scratch-made bean and cheese burrito, and a soft drink. So jingle on down to Jim Boy's or order online at participating locations. Woo-hoo-hoo!
Yeah, and we want you feeling better. But I gotta say, because I said this earlier on the show, and I'm gonna say it to you because I got to. And it's not about hating on the Eagles. We got our Philly connection. I do think that they're done, though.
I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to go that far.
And it's just as much about how good they were last season as it is about what I've seen this season. If you do look at the numbers for how many teams lose the Super Bowl and then come back the next year
it's
and
tough.
actually do the revenge year,
Yeah.
if your team is not quarterbacked by Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, I don't even know. We looked it up. We stopped looking past anybody that wasn't quarterbacked by Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. So it's been tough. You lose pieces because you were so successful the year before. You lose coordinators and things like that.
Right.
So that's why it's not about the Eagles stinking or anything like that. I just think it's really hard to go through what they went through last season, run the table the same way they ran the table, and then come back on a revenge hype with the Niners, who felt like they lost their chance when their guy went down, and to a lesser degree the Cowboys as well. So I think, especially if they're not able to hang on, to the NFC East, they're definitely not going to be able to go and travel around and get it done. But even so, I think all roads end in Santa Clara.
Well, that's our show.
I know,
Right. Well, here's the thing, Alan. Here's the thing. And that was a good, nice little 2-minute monologue or whatever. I thought this was the crossover. You're going to let somebody else speak, but you ate up about 5 minutes right there.
Sorry.
But no, I'm messing with you. I'm
sorry.
But here's the thing. Do you believe in momentum at all?
I do.
Okay. Look at the schedule for the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
They got two of the worst teams over the last 3 games.
Right. Giants
twice,
mm-hmm.
and the Commanders. They get on a roll. Come on, man. Were the Niners done when they had a 3-game losing streak?
No.
Exactly. And so, you've been around sports long enough. Though,
the Niners also don't have Matt Patricia calling their plays.
No, Matt Patricia's a solid defensive coach. Come on, man. He's a solid.
Keep going.
The defense was actually halfway decent last night until the final drive.
Right.
And give the Seahawks some credit. They made a bunch of hell of catches up there. But you don't win a Super Bowl in December. Here's the thing. Is the road tough? Yes. Is it difficult? Yes. Based on what I'm hearing from you, if the Eagles can't get it done, we might as well just pencil the Niners into the Super Bowl right now. Then that's what I'm hearing, right?
That's what I'm saying.
See, and I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad Niners fans are feeling that way, because when they lose, it'll be that much farther to fall down. Like, they're up on the mountaintop right now.
There's a lot of talk.
They're up there.
It's a lot of talk.
It's Mount Olympus right now.
It's a lot of talk.
Exactly. And so they can have their day. We're about the playoffs. We're about competing for Super Bowls. They have a better record. It's not like they're like 8 games ahead of the Eagles.
Right.
The Eagles are 10-4. They have a chance to be 13-4 on the season. Think about that.
Yeah.
And we're saying a 13-4 team can't get it done? Can't be a contender? Yeah. Is that what I'm hearing? Think about what you're saying, Alan Stiles.
It's as much about the road that the Eagles had to go and are still on, and it's just as much about how ridiculous the Niners look to me. And the Niners, they got through their little situation with the injuries, and now they're rolling right now. If Niners are missing a piece and the Eagles are missing a piece, I might go Eagles, right? You notice
that's what I'm saying.
But the Niners, we don't know. Okay. We don't know. So, and I feel like when people say when healthy for the Niners, that when healthy is carrying so much more weight than other teams because we've seen the Niners not healthy and they haven't got it done. That's the bottom line.
Right, exactly. Injury is definitely going to play a part of it. If the Niners have an injury to one of their studs, and I'm looking at the text line, guys, the Eagles have been barely winning games all season, and that finally caught up with them in the last 3 games. I can agree with that, but I could also say that they're battle-tested.
Yeah.
Their schedule undoubtedly is the toughest schedule in the entire NFL. When you look at the gauntlet they've had to go through. And yes, they are beat down. They're battered. Jalen Hurts is questioning the commitment of the team, all that. Yes, but it's nothing that can't be cured by winning. And they have a chance to go 3-0 here to finish the season and gain some momentum. So I'm a pause. Niners fans can have their day, right. Chris Watkins. They can be on Mount Olympus right now. Yeah. It's okay. We had a texter a couple of weeks ago, and Whitey, I keep bringing this up, that said Niners fans are a lot like Warriors fans, extremely arrogant. So I'm going to let arrogant Niners fans have their say right now. Mm-hmm. Talk to me in February, though, and see what the last team standing is. That's my take on it.
All right. Well, in the last 2 minutes, let's all get back on one accord because the Beam team is rolling here. We talked a lot about Domantas Sabonis and obviously Keegan Murray and De'Aaron Fox. If both of you, and Kyle's getting in my ear, we got 2 minutes left here. If both of you had to pick, I guess, the number one storyline from this season, what would you pick? And for example, our list went in order of De'Aaron, Keegan, and Malik Monk.
Mine would be that the defense is actually better.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
To this point.
Yeah.
I know it's, too early to draw any conclusions, but that's remarkable. Yeah. So that would be mine.
Okay.
And I would, piggyback on that. Yes, the defense, but also all these prognosticators thought if the Kings aren't healthy, they would fall off the map.
There we go.
Fall off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't happened. They battled through injuries and dealt with injuries, and here they are at top 4 in the Western Conference.
Boom. So now we have 5, and you guys didn't even have to take either of ours. That's how you go. That's how you do a crossover.
Right there.
That's how you tease into your next show. Thank you for Kyle Ledbetter, Chris Watkins, and Alan Stiles. Please hang on and listen to The Drive, guys, with Whitey Gleason and Kyle Draper. Until tomorrow, secure the bag, light the beam.
Holy catfish!
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold.